So Mesa was very important to me. I actually participated in Mesa all 4 years of high school at Edison High School in Fresno, California. Go Tigers! But obviously made a transition, not just out of California, out of California to Arizona, where I completed my undergraduate degree as well as my master's degree. The thing is, it took me 20 years to get 8 years of education, or 6 to 8 years of education under my belt, which I don't wish on anyone. I would not be here if it were not for Mesa. You got to come hear my story in the college knowledge room. That's all I'm going to say right now.
All right, well, let's get down to business. We are here in our Mesa main room. You know what, folks? You're going to have to, in your Mesa team, you're going to have to be pitching ideas to your advisor. You're going to have to be pitching ideas to your college representative when you get to that area. There is so much information in this spirit of business. You're just going to want to be there. And James, you can dovetail in on that. As a Mesa alum, would you need to go to the spirit of business?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the main things that I did as a Mesa kid was participate in impromptu speech. I honestly don't know if we still do that to this day. But however, what I have learned from that experience leading up to now is, regardless of what you're going to do in the world of mathematics, engineering, or science, obviously you're going to achieve, but you're also going to have to be able to articulate your concepts, your ideas, your thoughts, and as Corey is stating, and pitch your idea. So that's the engineer of today, the scientist of today. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in the college knowledge room on how things are progressing now for engineers versus the years past.
Fantastic. So thank you for jumping in on that. So 7 to 7:15 is a great time to visit the college knowledge room again, because that's where you can kind of unpack what just happened in the STEM Live spirit of business. Then we're going to head over to another STEM Live interactive meme creator, which is going to be so key for your Mesa teams. So you're not going to want to miss either one of those presentations tonight. And they're not just presentations, guys. They are totally interactive. So if you have your Mesa team with you tonight, definitely get together and have a chat inside of the room as you're listening along. Advisor breakouts. Just if you're an advisor with us tonight, you can go to the college knowledge or the Mesa or the STEM Live room, but you can stick around in the main room. That's where Marnie and I will stick around. I'm not sure how long Bill will be with us tonight, but he might stick around there as well, so that we can have an informal chat about how we can support you as an advisor. So really networking, Mesa STEM tips and tricks. If I know Bill, he's got tricks up his sleeve. So we'll see how that goes. But ultimately, you're not leaving anywhere. That's the main room. All right. With that said, Marnie, Thunder tokens.
All right, so we have 3 days of Thunder Token treasure hunt set up for you to do on the break time, the transitions, or tonight after we leave until we meet again tomorrow at 5, and then again until Saturday morning. And so you can see there's a bit.ly across the bottom. I'll stick that in the chat in a moment. And what will happen when you go there is you'll go to this screen, and there are little links all over it for you to kind of learn some things about STEM and what GCU has to offer for STEM. Once you kind of poke around and learn some things, if you look in the upper left where it says click here to submit your answers for day 1, there's going to be a little mini quiz, and all the answers can be found in the link. You fill that out and you submit it, and we'll save your name for 2 things. We'll send you some digital Thunder tokens, some digital badges that you can post virtually, and your name will be entered in a raffle for swag. And so there'll be 3 opportunities. There's a day 1, a day 2, and a day 3. Each day, a new slide will open up at the same link. So you can do the day 2 and then day 3. And then on Saturday morning, we'll do a bunch of the raffles for the Thunder token swag.
All right. And then Marnie, you're going to pop that. You already did. See, she can talk and put things in the chat at the same time. Do you want me to head over there and show them what the forms look like or anything? Or do you want them to click on it from the chat?
I don't think I think it's pretty self-evident. It's just point to the top left, and it's going to be totally animated when they open that up. That thing's going to be spinning around. That's where you enter your answers for the to fill out the answers to the quiz. And it's not a hard quiz. Again, all the answers are here in the links, and we want you to have fun.
You want to win prizes, and you'll also be able to win some prizes over in Mr. Jackson's College Knowledge Room. So don't forget to go there. He'll explain when you jump in what his form is all about, to just fill it out so that you can win prizes. Now, why do we have you filling out forms to win prizes? Weird. If you win something, we have to send it to you because we're virtual, right? So we're not joking here. You're going to win cool swag. This isn't quite as cool because it's just like right here, but you're going to win some fun swag, and we're going to get it to you. Okay. So hopefully that entices you a little bit. Thank you so much, Marnie, for explaining that. All righty. And okay. And college knowledge, just so you know, Mr. Jackson, I do have your room available and ready. You let me know which persons you want me to pop over there. But right now, Mr. Jackson's going to show you guys. He's just going to talk about the room a little bit. So go ahead. Oh, you're muted. Let's.
Rule number 1: check if you're muted or not. So, in the college knowledge room, one of the things obviously that you're here to do is participate in our virtual event, have some fun, get some tokens, get to learn a little bit more about, engineering at Grand Canyon University, and also more about Mesa. So in the college knowledge room, that's going to be your area where you pop over into just to get those specific college admissions type questions answered. Like, what is our admissibility? Well, what are the scholarships like? Well, what is the actual engineering program like? You're going to have an opportunity over the next 3 days, certainly, to learn some of those caveats. But the reality is you're going to have the opportunity also in the college knowledge room to speak with the admissions counselors that do this. I mean, this is what we do at Grand Canyon University. So we're a very, very unique university. Of course, we are a Christian, we're a private Christian university. And we have a very, very, very quickly growing engineering college, along with our science aspect of College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. So in that room, we're going to give you some answers to many of the questions that you have. You might even walk away with some questions that will help you in your college search if you are looking or staring down that avenue. And regardless if you are in the 8th grade, 9th grade, or the 12th grade, the reality is the time is going to be here before you know it. And I'm sure if there are some seniors out there that are shaking their heads saying, yeah, that is certainly the case. But we want to be able to give you some information to help you make a healthy decision about where you want to go to college. Again, we're here to help you get to that next level. If it happens to be Grand Canyon University, fantastic. We're glad to have you. If it happened to be another university that's a better fit for you, guess what? We're happy for you for that resolve as well. So come on and check us out. We don't bite unless you want us to, and we still may not bite in that scenario. But we're here for you this evening. If it requires more time for us to actually spend with you outside of these hours, we're willing to do that as well. We can schedule something up. So don't be shy. Come check us out. Myself and my team will be there, and we're here to help. We're here to help. So bring your questions.
Thank you so much. And just so you guys know, Sierra, who you see on your screen right now, she is a sophomore engineering student at GCU. She is a part of the Society of Women Engineers. So shout out to the SWE Club. I just wanted to share with you that is our STEM. She's showing right here a STEM college knowledge playlist. So essentially, what skills she's learning in her engineering program, she's taken to YouTube and has a whole playlist out there just in college knowledge. Now, Sierra's on the playlist right now, but there's more videos that are coming that way. So we'll show you another college knowledge playlist that is not STEM related, but we sure want to focus in on our STEM related college knowledge. So thank you.
Yeah, I forgot. Madison's going to be there with us.
Yeah, Madison. Madison,
who was a current student. And you're probably going to honestly want to hear more from her than from me, just to be completely transparent, because she's doing it and she's doing it well. So come check us out.
So 3 ways to go on. Go to menti.com and hand enter the code, or open up your camera on your phone and just scan that QR code, or click the link in the chat. but we want to see the results, Corey.
All right, look at that. So we want to learn some strategies for Mesa competition. I like to hear that. Is neck and neck. Learn about STEM programs in college, engage in STEM activities, or meet new friends from near and far. All right, you guys don't need any new friends. Apparently that's the deal, huh? I like it. Very cool. Well, let's learn some strategies for Mesa competition. Let's do it. And with that said, Marnie, the spirit of business and the meme creator, I know there are strategies within those two activities to get your Mesa on. And we'll be doing more strategies tomorrow as well, Friday, and also Saturday morning. So looking forward to that. Let's go ahead and on your Menti.
I can see I need to fix. There we go.
Okay, I just clicked go to slide. All right.
No, I'll tell you what.
Oh, okay.
We got it fixed.
I want to meet the Mesa ninjas.
Thank you. Right?
Wasn't me. I didn't say I was a Mesa ninja.
I know if David Hill is not a ninja, I don't know who is. So he's still on the call. I love it. Yeah, so lots of newbies to Mesa. Very cool. Well, welcome. We're so excited to have you. We're going to tell you a little bit more about it, but before we do, really, it's just about fun, right, James? I mean, you're the alum, right. You know more than we do, but Mesa is just so much fun.
One of the things I remember the most is not knowing that I actually learned something at the end of the day or the weekend. That was the coolest part, I think, about Mesa. I wouldn't think about that, obviously, as a high school aged child or even a college student. But now as an adult, I look back and I'm like, wow, the ingredients to learning, one of them is you got to have fun, you know, and Mesa does that so well. So that's awesome.
Oh, awesome. That's the idea. All right, guys, where are you zooming in from tonight? Would love to know. Some California, some Arizona.
On this next question, it's giving you a choice to choose several. Just choose the first one and hit submit.
Oh, thank you. Oh, cool. We got some New Mexico here. Very cool. All right. Southern Cal.
Southern SoCal coming back.
Looks like Arizona's taking the lead, though. Central. That's I guess there's more of us here in Maricopa County, but we're getting there. All right. So Central Cal, Northern Cal, other. So we've got one person from other. I want to know where you're from. Where are you zooming in from?
Other USA.
Love it.
All right.
Okay, very cool. Next one. Sorry, I get so distracted. I'm having so much fun. All right. If you have a Mesa team name, enter it here.
Excuse me, the Mesa team name, is that the name for the competitions?
It's really just your own team. Like, do you guys have a team name?
We're a new club, so we're trying to start it.
Sure.
The teachers really didn't get to me to talk about the details yet.
Well, you know what that sounds like to me? I think was that Stephen talking. You need to tell them first thing we need to do as a team is come up with a team name.
Yeah.
That's the best way to bond.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great point, Marty.
Oh, look at that. Cyber Nation Tiger Tech. I love it.
Well, somebody put us in there. Okay.
Okay. So they got you in.
Nice.
Okay. I don't have a team. Not yet, right? It's just a yet thing. Girls Leadership Academy of Arizona. Very cool. Cyber Nation, AZ Mesa, GCU STEM. I love it. Thanks, guys. All right. Well, like Marty said, maybe it's time to pick a team name. So that's just a little bit of a fun starter as we got started this evening. I'm always teaching in the morning, so right now it's a little different. We'll pop that over. Now I've got some information about everybody. A lot more newbies than I thought we'd have. So that's kind of fun. So speaking of newbies, Marnie, I want to always learn something new about myself. I'm not sure about you, But I am, and just so you know, if you're if you're on Team Jackson, I'm going to be popping you guys over to the Zoom room, the College Knowledge Room, in just a moment here, while everybody starts to take this personality test. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a personality test that's really generated, we're thinking about STEM. So where does your personality stem from? This actually comes from Regeneron Science Talent Search. So really, it's all a little, we all have a little STEM in our personality. So let's take this quiz to get started, to figure out where your personality comes from. Marty's going to pop that into the chat, and we will, and y'all can grab that link and start taking that personality quiz. So I will, and then I'll pop everybody on over to the, not everybody, but James and team over to the College Knowledge Room.
So again, that link's in the chat. If you click on it, there's 7 quick questions. Once it comes up, it's going to give you like a title of what STEM personality you are, and it's going to have just a little bit of information and tell you some people that share your personality traits. So just kind of read that. It's just like 3 sentences. And then we're going to take a little poll to find out who we got in the room.
If you see something that says breakout rooms on your, in front of you, we're not going to any breakout rooms yet. So don't go anywhere yet unless you are Team Jackson. Team Jackson is heading over there now. I am, James, do you want to head over as well right now with your team, or do you want to? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I was keeping you here because we want to know what STEM personality you have, my friend.
It is.
I think we all know, don't we?
I told you I'm the oldest Mesa kid in here. So.
Right.
Go ahead and share the.
All right. Are we ready to share the next? Whoops, what happened there?
I took it over.
Oh, lovely. That makes sense.
All right, so those of you who are finished, I put up another Menti survey right there. And I put the link in the chat or the code up at the top. So let's see who we have here. We've got some tech magicians, some space explorers, creatives, revolutionary rebel. That was me. I'm a revolutionary rebel.
I like it.
Ooh, we're not getting any healers or nature lovers out there. I'm a biology teacher too, so I kind of a little to the nature lover as well. Yeah, so everyone go ahead and stick your results in this Menti. The link is in the chat, or you can just type the code in at the top. Oh, there's a nature lover popped up. Interesting. You would think that Mesa engineering competition would be all one type of personality, wouldn't you?
You would think, but I know Marnie and I have different personalities.
You think?
Bill, do you and Manny have different personalities? You don't have to answer out loud.
All right, looks like we got just over half of our people putting something in. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, we got a couple more. Bill says they're very different in some ways, yes, as are Corey and I. But that works out when you have a team, doesn't it? All right, so we're kind of all over the place. 0 healers, more tech magicians than anything, but then we're kind of evened out. Oh, there we keep going up. Look at that. We're spread all over the place. That is such good news too for Mesa teams. So I'm going to move on to the next one. And thinking about those STEM personalities that you just read, what is one strength from your STEM personality that you bring to your team? Like, what is one thing that, because of your personality, you can bring to your team? And this you can just type in a word.
Yeah, creative, new ideas, teamwork. That's right. Encouragement. That's right, Stephen. Oh, open-minded is really great. I think everybody can use some of that. Analytical. Perfect. You know, and what I'm saying, Marnie, is that for a good team to work, you need all of these.
I just saw empathetic.
Ooh. If you don't walk a mile in someone else's shoes, you don't know
Right.
what their shoes feel like. Really
Right.
powerful.
So we have so many of you who are Mesa newbies, and you might be panicking, oh my gosh, this is an engineering competition. I don't really know that much about engineering. You don't necessarily have to. The point is to learn, but the more important point is to learn how to work on a team and how to be part of the team and how to bring your strengths to the team, just like you guys are showing here in this word cloud. One personality type won't make it. You know, one strength across the team won't make a great team. So very nice.
So true. I can't agree more.
You know, you as the teachers, you're our main contact, because as a program, our contact with teachers is with students is very limited, except for those couple of events that we do. So really, we're relying on you, and we hope it's a reciprocal relationship where if you're like, I have no idea what to do here, say, hey, you know what, we have resources, we'd be more than happy to help. Some of the things that we're trying to do this year is have student groups or professional groups volunteer their time to come in and say, you know, maybe once a month come in and say, all right, hey, you know, I'm here virtually. What questions do you have? You know, can you show me progress? What have you worked on? You know, where are you in this process, so that the students can get some feedback and hopefully see people like them in industry positions like, okay, this is another good way for me to envision myself in 5 years, 10 years, whatever that happens to be. We do partner with a lot of different student organizations. So I know Corey mentioned SWE. We also work with Women in Science and Engineering here at the U of A, who are a great partner, and we'd be more than happy to get you in touch with them at some point. I'm going to put my email address in the chat. So if you have any questions or just general Mesa things, please feel free to reach out to me, because my primary role is in teacher support.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's day 2. I'm like day 10. Day 2. I was like raising the roof over here. So great to see everybody back. Thank you for coming back. As Marnie and I always like to say, we love it when you come to our events. We love it even more when you come back. So thank you for being back with us. Day 2 STEM Camp, Mesa Virtual STEM Camp Fall 2020, the first of its kind. James Jackson, Team Jackson is in the house. I'm telling you what, do you remember the Mesa fervor, the excitement of competition back in the day?
It was intense, man. It was intense. I mean, all of a sudden, all these kids just got serious.
We're about to Kahoot. If you haven't done Kahoot, what's going to happen is there's going to be a code up on the screen in a few moments that you can type in. We're going to put the link in the chat. You can click on it. And definitely it works really well on your phone too. So just to type in the address and the code on your phone. So lots of ways to go if you are not a Kahoot person. If you do use it on your phone, I think the questions will show up on the screen and only the 4 little choices show up on your phone. So if you're just staring at your phone, you won't see the question. I always do that. I'm like, what's the question?
Exactly. So the phone is a little different, but doable, right?
Oh,
Mr.
yeah,
Barney?
super good.
It's lots of fun. I see that Mr. Montoya has asked Girls Leadership Academy to name themselves AZ-GLA. So super thank you, Mr. Montoya, for taking care of everybody in your area there. And let's start with a little Kahoot, and then we'll talk about agendas and what we're doing and all that kind of good stuff. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. And Jimmy, have you got the waiting room all set?
It is. We're having a little problem. Claudia keeps getting let in and keeps getting booted out, and we're not sure why.
Awesome. Just want to make sure that I'm not missing something on my end.
No.
All right. Let's Kahoot away. Here we go. Get ready for this great music. We're going to go classic style.
Oh, I know something else that happens. And teachers usually make the mistake. They go to kahoot.com instead of kahoot.it. So make sure you go to kahoot.it.
Kahoot.it, and that'll be in the chat. So I'm turning the I turn the volume down. You can't hear my voice either. So just so you know, kahoot.it. Get on in there, 647-987. Thank you, Kimberly. First up, love it.
Corey, is this you on the keyboard?
Hang on a second, I can't hear you.
Yeah, she's rocking the house.
Yeah, I'm over here. I'm on my standing desk. I got a keyboard right in front of me.
Awesome.
The Kahoot Classic. I don't know. I tend to like the classic.
I literally just played this with my family on Tuesday.
It's a fun game for party games. So if you have like a baby shower or something like that, Kahoot's it's the bomb. I'm not sure though. Maybe Madison, Jimmy, you guys in class, do your teachers overuse Kahoot? No.
Every now and then, it's not that bad.
Like it.
Well, we got 21 in the Kahoot.
So I can even adjust the volume so you can hear my voice over the Kahoot music if you want, but I think the Kahoot music's more fun. All right, get in. This is your last 20 seconds. We have one person joining us. So the person just joining us, jump into Kahoot. Kahoot.it 647-9877. You have 15 seconds left before I hit start.
I think people can join even after we start. So.
And we are, that's a quick 15 seconds. Here we go. All right, Mesa Facts coming your way. Which of these is not one of the 4 pillars of Mesa? You can see your seconds counting down on the left-hand side of your screen.
The music is so dramatic. I love it.
Woo!
I got it wrong.
Let's see who comes out on top. And we're pressing next. There we go. Bill it is. Shock and awe. Could it be Bill Pike knows a little bit about Mesa? I don't know. All right, here we go. M&M, Julian David, and Mr. Montoya, you're in, advisor. Let's do it. Next up. True or false? Explore, design, and test are the basic steps to the engineering design process. Three, 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, everybody knows the answer here. Who is our winner? Ah, shocker. Bill is still at the top. Come on, somebody pop him off the podium. Let's see what happens. Next up, the standards a design must meet are known as the 3, 2, 1, and the answer is, you got it, criteria.
Yeah.
Way to go, 22. Okay, Julian, you're close second here. We got, oh, wait a minute, here we go. Look at this, Advisor Montoya. You're coming up, here we go. Somebody's done their homework. EDN stands for I like this one.
Oh.
Engineering Design Notebook. You are correct. Looks like Mr. Team Jackson's got that one down.
Yeah.
Somebody pull Bill off the podium here. We gotta work on this one. We gotta be fast fingers, a little bit more fast fingers. All right, Julian, you're up. You're close. David, it is, and I shouldn't say that, Bill. Congratulations, Bill. You're doing well. Rock on, buddy. An engineering design notebook must contain a table of contents. Is that true or false? Give it a go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent job. It is true. They must have table of contents. Otherwise, we don't know where we're going. Just like I said before, if we're going to the party, we got to know how to get there. Bill's still in the lead. Way to go. But look at Montoya. He's coming up he's ready to knock him off. I'm interested to see what happens next. Let's go.
Bill just wants to win some GCU swag.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. The total possible points on your notebook is, what do you think?
I think this is the
Has that changed? That might have changed.
The Arizona specific game.
Oh, Arizona specific. All right, so Arizona specific is 25, but California might be different. So that's a gimme. Let's see what happens.
Bill scored.
He's an Arizona Mesa person, so there you have it. All right, we're getting there. Here we go. Next up, quiz question, definition of engineering. Give that a go.
Oh, we lost the music.
What? I can
there
still
it
hear
is.
it. Okay.
Oh, and now it's gone.
Does it help if I turn it up?
Yeah.
Definition of engineering. Very, very nice. The application of science and math to solve real problems, not the fake problems, people. What's happening here? We're getting closer. Bill's still taking the lead here. Let's see what happens. Look at David. David Hill, I bet you should be up there on the top too. Let's see what happens next. Up 8 of 18. Engineering is meant to solve human. 10 or 2. And here we go. That's right. Human problems. That is correct. Thank you so much for playing. Who is on the top of the scoreboard? Yeah. Oh, overtook Bill. What happened there? Advisor Montoya, way to go. Maybe Bill had to take a little break. I don't know. Either way, David, way to go. MNM, Kimberly, and Isaac in the running. Here we go. Number 9. Would an engineer develop better bubble gum? What a question. Yes and no. All right. Interesting. So I wonder what the 6 of us out of 4 of us think about engineers and bubblegum. Look at this. David is, hot on the tail, on the trail, on the tail. Awesome. Here we go. Next question is, would an engineer improve bandages? What do we got? Yes, I would agree. I would agree. In fact, at GCU, we actually have a, Maddie, do you know of the one that Professor Koneman was a part of creating a patent for a Band-Aid here at GCU? I'll get the link for y'all in a little bit. So that's that's a cool question. I like that question. All right, where are we? Advisor Montoya. Oh, David's close, but look at Isaac, Julian, and GLA Carla. Excellent job, guys. Way to go.
Take over.
Would an engineer develop a smaller cell phone? Be fast. Look at that guy. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what they did, was they engineered smaller cell phones. They're about as, now they're getting bigger, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going the other way now.
Like an iPad cell phone now, right? I love it. Way to go, Montoya and Carla. You're still in the running. David, Isaac, and Julian. All right, here we go. A few more questions to go. Let's see who remains on top or somebody steals. Would an engineer figure out ways to explore the ocean? That's right. Engineers are all kinds of fun and excited. Look at Isaac over here. Okay, Carla, Julian. Oh my gosh, guys, it's getting exciting. Whoops, so exciting that I'm zooming in. Here we go. Next time. Which is the most important skill to become an engineer? That'll be interesting.
That's a good question.
Communication skills. You might have thought that maybe discipline was over that, but absolutely not. Communication has to be there first and foremost. Advisor Montoya still on the top. Oh man, he's up in the 10,000 point area. Come on, guys, catch him. What does a mechanical engineer do? Chop down trees. I like that one.
Fight dragons?
Fighting dragons for sure. Design machines. I love it. Yes, they do. Design is art too. So don't forget about the STEAM in the STEM. All right, we've got some really high levels going. David is trying to catch you, Mr. Montoya. Let's see if he can. I don't know. What does aerospace engineer do? That was a quick answer. I like it. All these people want to work for NASA. Oh, Mr. Montoya, you lost your window. Tanner's got something to say about that. All right, design aircraft, spacecraft, and other air vehicles. How fun. So maybe you will work for NASA one day. David takes over because Advisor Montoya lost his window. I think that might have been what was happening here. That's okay. You can still come back. We've got a couple more questions. Where can you find work as an aerospace engineer? And that's true. You can find work in any place as an engineer, because we all need engineering. So there we have. Oh, look at Tram coming up. Tram was a winner last night. Way to go, Tram. And Star is coming up. Here we go. Maybe you can change your luck tonight. Would an engineer install cable television at your house? Yes, they would, or no, they wouldn't. No, they're not installers. They're designers. All right, David has overtaken. We've got Julian hot on his trail. Here we go, guys. This is exciting. 18 of 18. How many years ago was Mesa, USA established? We've given you enough time to Google the answer. How long's Mesa been around? Math, engineering, science achievements. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for the big kahuna. Oh, that was a tough race. 50 years, people. That should tell you something about what an awesome program Mesa is. Let's see what happened here. Let's look at the podium. 13 out of 18 Star. Give it up for Star. Give it up for David. Julian, our winner. Runners up, Carla and Tram. Way to go. Everybody's a winner here at GCU's Mesa Virtual STEM Camp. But these people will have some prizes coming their way. Remember that if you do not fill out a form, either in College Knowledge and or with Thunder tokens, you will not be able to be eligible for a prize coming to your home. So definitely make sure you fill out the form, give us your address so we can send you prizes.
And I
Way
just
to go,
want
guys.
yeah, nice job. I just want to reiterate, the only reason we're asking for that address is to mail you the swag. It's not for any other reason, and that address is not going anywhere else.
Thank you so much, Marnie, for letting everybody know that, because that is the case. We just want to give you stuff. That's how that works. And that's okay. And if you don't, we also could mail it to your school. Way to go, everybody. Yes, Mr. Montoya, I can't agree more. Everybody did a great job at our Kahoot. And especially those of you who are new to Mesa, that's a lot of Mesa trivia to be new to Mesa. So way to go. As last night, you guys saw who I was. You see who I am. I'm Corey. I'm your host for the evening. Marnie's your co-host. She was the one who made that awesome Kahoot game. So rah, rah, rah. Thank you, Marnie, for making that for us. And Team Jackson is in the house again tonight. Mr. Jackson's going to talk to you in just a minute with his colleagues from GCU. So we will introduce them as well in just 1 second. I have one question for you. We did kind of had a Zoom last night. So here's our agenda for day 2. Just want to let you know, we did some Kahoot. We want you to know that the College Knowledge Room will be always open after the opening session. So we're gonna make sure that everybody's here. Since Team Jackson's main person is going to present to you in a second, we're gonna make sure that everybody sticks around here in the main room. And then we'll open up the College Knowledge Room and you can head in there anytime you want. Thunder Tokens form is open. So make sure that you are submitting for your Thunder Tokens. The Society of Women Engineers, they have a STEM activity for you at 6 o'clock, maybe even a little earlier, depending on where we go. So we'll put you in, that's called the interactive STEM room. Then we have in our live STEM room, Engineering STEM Live, Circuit Development. Then we've got another interactive STEM activity between 7 and 7:15. Then we're gonna do a Magic 8-Ball STEM Live. That's all about computer science and lots of fun. And then our advisor breakouts, remember, stay in the main room for our advisor conversations, breakouts, networking, and Mesa tips and tricks. And can you send the link? Yeah, Marnie's gonna take care of all of that. Very cool. And that's you know what? Just a sneak peek, but we'll make sure to get that published slide deck into the chat for you so you can see the agenda day 3. But we're not at whoops, my mouse is giving me a hard time. We're not at day 3 yet, but I just want to give you a little overview. We're going to have some Thunder Vision tomorrow, Mission and Vision. We're going to have a keynote speaker. We're going to have a University and Industry STEM panel. And don't forget, major prize drawings tomorrow. So you don't want to miss tomorrow. And we're excited about a pre-competition consulting day that we just popped on the calendar. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So let's jump in. Okay, don't forget the Thunder tokens. I'm literally just showing this so that y'all see what it looks like, because you want to get your Thunder tokens in tonight. Those will pop into the chat so that you have that all set to go.
Wait.
And
wait.
Yeah, stop. Go ahead.
Go back to that right there. No,
This?
no, yes. So that's no.
That.
Yes.
Sorry.
So when you go there, that's day 1. That's from yesterday. If you didn't do day 1, you still can do it today. But then if you scroll down, you'll see there's a little flashing arrow on the bottom left. You just scroll down. It's going to open up another slide for day 2. And so day 2 is now open. So there's a whole new set, and you can resubmit again for day 2. And then tonight we'll open it up again for day 3, which will close tomorrow at the end of the last session. So thank you.
Awesome. Yes. Awesome. So we've got day 2, day 1 and day 2. So don't forget to get your Thunder tokens for major prize drawing tomorrow. Thank you for that. That's awesome. College Knowledge Room, as you know, will be open. Breakout rooms. I just talked to you a little bit about the breakout rooms as I looked at the agenda. Don't forget to go to College Knowledge. James, Team Jackson, do you guys have anything to say about what's happening in your rooms tonight?
Yeah, tonight in College Knowledge. So after I looked at all of the folks that we have here today, what we're going to do is talk about a little bit of college preparation. So the module is called Get Ready for College. So we'll talk about some of the things that you can start doing now, perhaps even some of the classes you can start taking. If you're looking at engineering or technology, you'll actually learn some of that as well here coming up just after our intro time. And basically give you some questions also to ask other colleges when you begin your search for the right university fit for you. So.
All right. So here's the question I have for you today. Which Mesa competition are you most interested in knowing how to win? That's my question for you tonight. Let me know, Marnie, if you're answering it and you can't see the rating. Oh, there we go. All right, look at the coding solutions. Okay, so that's a California challenge. That's going to be great. But we have the same idea with Hack Attack and mobile app creation. So that's awesome. Okay, and the Mesa machine. So now I didn't put all the California competitions on here just because I didn't have room. But this is really good for us to know, to figure out like what you're most interested in. So this is just for students to tell us, you know, where are you most interested? So you're going to do some coding, the Mesa machine. Support the Sky is the civil engineering. Hack Attack is cybersecurity. Not too much interest in mobile app creation. And the engineering design notebook. Nobody doing the designing for equity challenge. Interesting. Okay, so that would be the National Engineering Design Competition. Thanks, guys. That's a great way to get us started. And Team Jackson, I will pop it over to you, and you're welcome to share your screen. So just
let's go ahead and move with Tyler. Mr. Lago is going to actually share his screen with us, and I'm going to work alongside with him and Mr. Casey Carbajal as it relates to engineering at GCU. So
perfect. Thank you. Everybody see it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Casey, myself, as well as James, obviously, we're very excited to present to you tonight during this next session within your Mesa STEM camp to kind of explain what I do, as well as Casey, my counterparts. We work in Grand Canyon University's College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. I work as the program development specialist for our engineering department, while Casey works as the program development specialist for our computer science, IT, and cybersecurity programs. And really tonight, we want to just give you a little bit more clarity of what engineering and technology students really work on at the university level. And James is also going to be chiming in here and there as well. But we're very, very excited to speak with you tonight. So are we ready to jump in?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Awesome. So I want to start out with engineering, which looking at the Kahoot, as well as the event you've already been kind of going through since yesterday, you've been getting a lot of engineering content. And so you probably know a lot of this already, but to kind of explain the programs that Grand Canyon offers for engineering is a Bachelor of Science for Engineering, engineering with an emphasis in robotics, mechanical engineering technology, electrical engineering technology, and biomedical engineering. And so I want to start out with explaining the Bachelor of Science for Engineering program, because some students may look at it and say, well, is it just general engineering? Really, what are students really working on in this program? And so when it comes to the Bachelor of Science for Engineering, it's really giving students cross-training in mechanical engineering, as well as electrical engineering, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And we also weave in 5 or 6 business courses into this program so that students are also gaining strong experience in an engineering management position. because you're probably experiencing in your STEM clubs that you as an engineer or you in computer science, you're not going to just be placed in your own little corner and you'll never talk with someone from a different background or mindset. It's critical for anyone to understand that you becoming an engineer or you becoming a computer scientist, that you're going to be working with people from a diverse number of different backgrounds. And so this program is really helpful for students that are either wanting to go into engineering as an engineer or wanting to go in engineering as more of a management side, like a project manager, someone that's helping the engineers, making sure that they're meeting deadlines, making sure that they have all of the resources that they need. And so really this is what this program is really all about for students. And so as engineering students, they're working in their engineering project management course. They're working on organizational behavior and management to make sure that things are running smoothly. That's really what they're trying to learn within this program. And so I want to go on to the next program, engineering with an emphasis on robotics. I want to quickly go back a slide. Oh no, I keep going back and forth on slides. You already saw it, dang it, I wanted to make a question, but just to let you know, as you probably already do, the three major areas of a robotic system, all it takes to really make a robot is mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and computer software. And really within this program, that's really all students are really working on, is getting the mechanical engineering side, understanding static and dynamic structures. Like static structures are things like a table designed to not have movement. Dynamic structures, things like this robotic arm you see in the video, that's designed to have movement. Then they're understanding the electrical side with the circuitry, and then the computer software and the programming side, so that they're able to design a robotic system. This video is actually from our robotics lab, and our students are trained in how to automate robotic systems like this, because that's what really they're doing in the industry. And so that is our engineering with an emphasis in robotics program. And so now I want to jump into our mechanical engineering program, but I do want a little bit of participation. And so if you can, in the chat box, type out in one sentence, what do mechanical engineers work on? And so we're going to have the chat open. And so if you can, again, type in, what do mechanical engineers work on? Machines,
Nice.
building machines, making robots and computers. Yes, all of these are great answers. And so let's jump right in to mechanical engineering, because they work on a number of things. Like Corey and Mario Friday explained to you, with mechanical engineering, there's a vast number of different things that they work on. And so when it comes to mechanical engineers, I love to think about a plane, for example. The mechanical engineering side of a plane is anywhere from the design, development, testing, manufacturing, production of every single part and component inside a jet engine, to the wings, the rudders of the wings, planning the aerodynamics of the plane, the landing gear systems, the HVAC system inside the cabin of the plane, keeping it at the right air pressure, even down to the seats and that small little button that you press that gives you 3 inches of extra space to lean back. Even that is mechanical engineering based. And so really that's what mechanical engineers are really working on, but not just in aeronautical engineering with planes, but in aerospace, in automotive engineering, locomotive, marine, in manufacturing, in parts of computer engineering, parts of construction engineering, mining, agriculture, parts of petroleum engineering. There's a number of things that mechanical engineers really work on in various industries. But I do want to explain that with GCU in our engineering department, we offer 2 different types of mechanical engineering programs as well as electrical engineering programs. And so you're probably kind of wondering, why are there 2 programs really about the same field? And thank you for asking. I was just about to explain it to you, because when it comes to the differences between engineering and engineering technology. Number one, it's really important to know with our programs that the engineering technology programs are not for technician roles. Technicians are more the ones that are building the actual plane down the manufacturing line. The engineers are, again, the ones that really design all of that, and they're the ones that also build the prototypes and tests. But when it comes to the engineering technology programs, it's really important to know that they're really engineers that specialize in application-based engineering roles. And so if you look at the diagram, this is actually something that our deans have really built to make it a little bit more clear of what the engineers, while the engineering technology students really work on. And so you can see when it comes to engineering across the board, so research, mathematically complex design, testing, evaluation, manufacturing, operations and services, they cross the whole spectrum. But the mechanical engineering technology, as well as the electrical engineering technology programs, really specialize for students that don't really care for heavy mathematical modeling within their role. They also don't really care to be in heavy research-based work, but they still want to be in this engineering tier. So it's a less math-intensive program, but really giving the students the experience that they need, as well as the math, as well as the science that they need to be in those application-based roles, so that they're like test engineers, again, or validation engineers. That requires a lot of hands-on building and a lot of hands-on training to really be an expert in those areas. And so that's really what the programs are all about. So now I want to jump into electrical engineering, but again, just like mechanical engineering, to have a little bit of engagement, if you go to the chat box, I encourage you type out, what is an electrical engineer? What do electrical engineers work on? If you have one sentence, I encourage you to jump in to talk about what is electrical engineering. Lots of stuff. Yes, there's definitely a lot of things that they work on. Anyone else? What do electrical engineers work on? They work on circuits. Yeah. They work on wires. Yeah, they do. They do. That's not the only thing that they focus on, but that's definitely a huge part of their job. Yeah, they work on robots. There's a lot of different things that electrical engineers work on. And so really jumping into that when it comes to what they work on, anything electrical, yeah, that's true. There's a number of things that they work in, and I like to go back to the plane example. So we talked about the mechanical engineering side of a plane, but the electrical engineering side of a plane, if you think about it, the electrical engineering side of a plane is anywhere from all of the hardware circuitry. So the circuitry you've seen that like there are in iPhones, there's hardware all over the plane for different systems, even down to the systems for the screens that are in the back on seats for TVs on international flights. Even that is electrical engineering based. So they're working on the hardware circuitry side. They work in signals. So think about like AM, FM, radar, sonar, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. All of these signals are calibrated by electrical engineers to send information. And so that's also another area that they work on. But they also work in the utilities industry. So think about outside the plane, but down on the ground, that the engineers that run and maintain power plants are primarily electrical engineers, because they're transferring that large amounts of power. And so again, just like mechanical engineering, there is a number of fields that electrical engineers work in, a number of industries. So any vehicle-based industry, again, automotive, locomotive, marine, aerospace, aeronautical engineering, computer engineering, telecommunications, utilities. And so, and like I said, just like the mechanical engineering technology program, the electrical engineering technology is very similar, that the students are really specializing in those application-based engineering roles. And so that being said, this leads me into the final program that I want to talk about before I hand it off to Casey and talk about computer science. But I want to talk about biomedical engineering. And so I encourage you, again, type in the chat box, what do you think biomedical engineers work on? Prosthetics. Yes, that's definitely one major area that they work in when it comes to prosthetics. What else do you think biomedical engineers work on? Hospital equipment. Yeah. What else? Implants. Yes. Cure for COVID. Yes, that is a part of what they are working on for sure. Bandages. Yes, great, great answers. So when it comes to biomedical engineering, it is a phenomenal, phenomenal career. If I can transition this slide, there we go. There's really three major high-level areas when it comes to biomedical engineers. But at the end of the day, biomedical engineers are really engineers that are improving the healthcare industry. And that's either through biomaterials, so think about like synthetic skin or artificial organs. Actually, one of our faculty, Dr. Jeffrey LaBelle, he's a researcher. One of the previous projects he and his staff has really researched into is how to develop an artificial bladder. And so that's one major area of biomedical engineering. The second major area is imaging. So think about CT scanners, MRIs, EKGs, those devices that are really giving us imagery so that healthcare professionals can more effectively diagnose patients. That's really the improvement of those images so that we can be more accurate in our diagnosis is really coming from biomedical engineers. And then the largest and the highest demand for biomedical engineers is really the development of healthcare devices. And so a lot of the answers that we provide, the prosthetics to bandages, to different therapies for COVID, anything large scale like a ventilator to anything small scale, again, like a bandage or a face mask is technically a biomedical engineering device. And so that's really, really what they work on. And so that's really the programs that we offer for engineering at Grand Canyon University. I want to hand it over to Casey to talk about our computer science programs, but James, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, just a couple of things. And I'm kind of playing a little bit of a walk down memory lane here, putting myself back in those Mesa, situations where we were visiting colleges and trying to figure out. I always knew I wanted to get into something on the engineering side, but I didn't know specifically what to get into until the research started. And you students that are on the call are probably saying, "Wow, those are the only engineering programs that they have," because there's so many engineering outlets out there. There's aerospace engineering, there's aeronautical engineering, there's you name it engineering. And the reason why we have these specific core programs are because we did our research even before we launched the engineering programs to understand what it takes a person to be not just a good engineer, but obviously be able to take care of themselves in their career. So like NASA is not going to tell you that you have to be an aerospace or an aeronautical engineer to work at NASA. You don't have to be an aeronautical engineer to work on an airplane. In fact, all of the engineers that Tyler just presented would, in essence, except for the biomedical perhaps, or maybe they would, because that oxygen mask does have to drop from the ceiling of the plane. All of those engineers are going to work on that plane. And the aerospace engineer might just be overseeing everything, or they may not even be in charge of the project. So I'm challenging you students to see yourself in one of these areas. And I get it. If you're in the 9th grade, 10th grade, you're like, wow, maybe it's too soon. Well, maybe it's not. Start thinking about those things now and take away from this, if anything, some of the questions. And by the way, Tyler did you a solid and put down on the bottom of those little slides there what the median pay is for each of these engineering scenarios. This is not GCU information. This is information that's provided to us by our federal government. So, and that it could be higher for your area, it could be lower, but that's the median. So just keep that in mind. But thank you, Tyler, and I'm glad we're transitioning over to Casey to bring this thing into full scope.
Yeah, no, all of that is great information. So now I'm going to hand over to Casey, and Casey, you can continue. Just let me know when you want to switch over to the next slide.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Tyler. And it's nice to see everyone. Tyler, if you want to go ahead and go on to the next slide here for me. So as Tyler mentioned as well, I am the program specialist for our technology programs here at GCU. So as you can see on the screen, these are the programs that I oversee within our technology division of the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology here at GCU. So You can see here we offer computer science programs, a couple different emphases there. I'll explain a little bit about what those emphases are here in just a moment. We also offer computer programming, software engineering. You might get a little confused about that because it says engineering in the name. It's actually not really what you would think of an engineering degree. It's more of a software focused degree. I'll explain that a little bit further as well. I also oversee information technology with an emphasis in cybersecurity and cybersecurity as well. So these are all our programs that are represented in the College of Technology. And then I'm going to go a little bit more into detail as far as what we do in each of those programs. So if you go ahead and go on to the next one for me, Tyler. There we go. So the first one I have on here is our computer science program and our computer scientist. To kind of give you an overview and a little bit of insight into what a computer scientist is. Oftentimes when you look at universities and oftentimes you see the career or the mindset of a computer scientist, you're thinking, I like to put it in this perspective of this, rocket science, right? I don't think of this as rocket science, but this is more of computer science, right? There's a lot more research that has to go on. There's a lot more of theory that goes on behind the scenes on, okay, what's possible with technology? What can I create? What is the industry demand looking for? So within our programs here at GCU, you're going to design and develop and focus on tools such as software, operating systems, databases. It's also a very math and science intensive program. So understanding how to apply concepts like linear algebra and discrete math into computer technology to then present and fix problems understand how the computer will work to solve those problems. So as I mentioned before, we have three different emphases here at computer science with an emphasis in big data analytics, computer science with an emphasis in business entrepreneurship, and then computer science with an emphasis in game and simulation development. Now, the big disclaimer with all three of the degree options here at GCU and what we offer, all three of those degrees are theoretically the same. The idea behind that is that we want to provide you with a foundational level of understanding in computer technology, right? We have to understand the coding languages. We have to understand the mathematics behind it, the science behind what makes technology possible and how does this work within each of these specific areas. So you're going to apply that skill set and then into each emphasis, depending on whichever one you decide to go down here at GCU. So big data analytics, that's more of data science, understanding analytical trends, creating data analysis tools associated with computer technology. Business entrepreneurship, maybe you're interested in creating your own product, starting your own business. Maybe you're interested in going the technology route, things of that nature. That's going to be more along the lines of business entrepreneurship. And then finally, game and simulation development. That's usually the popular one because it says game and simulation development. Just to keep in mind, it is not a gaming degree. It is a degree program where you're applying very heavy theoretical foundations of computer technology into understanding what makes gaming technology work and how does that process work. A good example might be Super Mario Brothers. When you play Super Mario Brothers, it's really easy when you start out, but then as you get deeper into the game, it gets more difficult. So understanding what makes that possible, okay? What's the complexity analysis behind Mario Brothers and how that makes what makes it more difficult? You also get into some virtual reality in there as well and building those simulated environments. So that's the idea behind computer science. Again, more theoretical based and a lot more math and science compared to maybe the next degree program, which is going to be, Tyler, if you click on the next slide for me, computer programming. Computer programming here at GCU is a very unique opportunity that we offer because it is unlike a traditional computer science program that requires calculus. This program actually only requires college algebra, so a lot less on the math side. And this program is going to be really much more in depth on the programming languages. So really understanding things like software development, the software development lifecycle. So you're going to get really in depth on understanding things like Python and Java and C# and C++, SQL, understanding how those programming languages work together, collaborate with each other to then see an end product and see the end result. So really in this program, you're going to work on developing code, writing code to solve problems for end users. Think of creating mobile apps, creating websites, things of that nature. I like to think of like Microsoft, how Microsoft was started. Think of all the applications that Microsoft uses nowadays, Microsoft Teams, Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel, Microsoft Word, of course. All of those programs, all that software was developed and created by a computer programmer. They utilize coding languages to then develop and create those type of tools. So those are all very relevant examples in what computer programming is. A very common job career that you might see is software development. That's what you're going to be focusing on when it comes to that program. So that's the general idea with computer programming. That moves me into my next one here. Software engineering. As I mentioned, software engineering is not your traditional engineering degree that Tyler mentioned. Obviously, Tyler mentioned a lot of hardware that's involved within what you're working with in the engineering concept. This program is solely focused on the software side. So if you're familiar with what embedded systems are, if you're not familiar with it, think of this. An embedded system, an example of it might be a vending machine. A vending machine is a larger mechanical device, but it's programmed to produce a specific function. Another example, going back to Tyler's example with an airplane, right? All the network systems, all the software that's being used on an airplane, all the systems that it's used to function properly, it was programmed to do, right? There's the wiring behind it, but there's also the programming behind it. And that's what the software engineering degree is going to focus on and get really in depth on. So again, implementing those programming languages into that type of technology, going through design and architecture of specific software, the software analysis behind that as well. So think of this program, you're assisting in the creation of new technology. I also like to put it, it's not a robotics degree. Tyler was talking a little bit about what we have as far as robotics go, but think of it more as like teaching the robot what its function is, what its purpose is, what it's designed to do. That's really what this program is going to focus on and what we do here when it comes to software engineering. Also a very math and science intensive curriculum. So again, implementing calculus and physics into understanding what's possible with technology and then how that works and then seeing the final outcome as a result. So that's the idea behind software engineering, and that's kind of how it makes it a little different between this program versus maybe mechanical or electrical engineering. This one is solely focused on the software side. So that's the overall idea. If you go ahead and go on to the next one for me, Tyler. The next program that we have is information technology. So if you're familiar with an IT department at all, you kind of understand what their purpose is and what they do within an IT department. They're there to solve human and business problems when it comes to computer technology. I like to think of the IT department here at GCU. If something's going wrong with my computer, if Zoom's not working the way it's supposed to, if my email's not working the way it's supposed to, I usually call the IT department to help me figure out, okay, what's going on? Okay, how do we figure out what's going on with our operating system? Maybe there's a specific software that's not working properly, things of that nature. So our information technology degree, they're going to oversee and facilitate all those operating systems, all the software, all the hardware tools associated with computer technology to make sure that it's working properly. You're also going to learn how to build your own infrastructures, build your own networks. Think of like building your own Wi-Fi network. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty cool. If you build your own Wi-Fi network and how to do that, that's a pretty solid skill set to have when it comes to computer technology and then bringing that to resumes and then interviews later on. You'll also get into understanding servers and databases and things associated with that. We also have an emphasis in cybersecurity associated with that IT degree. And basically that's adding a little bit more information into the defensive side of cybersecurity. So learning how to protect against cyber attacks. If you're getting hacked into, okay, what's happening? How do I navigate that threat? How do I fix that problem? Things of that nature. So think of information technology and the emphasis in cybersecurity on how to really navigate and mitigate cyber attacks, cyber threats associated with technology when it comes to your organization, your business, or whoever it is that you might be working for. So that's really what this program is going to focus on. And if you go over to my last slide here, we also have the Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity by itself. Now, this program is a little different because this program is going to focus on the penetration testing side, the offensive side. So if you want to think to learn and you want to learn how to maybe break into information systems, but doing it with a purpose in mind, obviously we don't want to teach you how to do illegal activity, right? That would be wrong. We want to teach you how to do it with a purpose, right? Do it to solve problems and do it to try to help society better be prepared for cyber attacks. So what this program is going to focus on is penetration testing, malware analysis, learning how to break into information systems to then provide solutions to organizations and to other network companies and things of that nature. We call it ethical hacking here at GCU. Obviously, we are a Christian-based university. Hackers for Halos is our little cheesy term that we like to use. But that's the idea behind it, right? We're trying to solve problems, trying to understand the world of cyber technology, what's possible within cyber technology, and then how to navigate, mitigate threats, and honestly to solve those problems before they occur. So that's the idea within the cyber program. I believe that's all I have. I don't think there's any more slides. I could be wrong, but James, do you have any other little notes there to add when it comes to Mesa and as that relates to technology?
Yeah, just thank you. Awesome. That was great, Casey, and great Tyler as well. So just kind of in summation, I mean, this is a result of years of thought, years of work, blood, sweat, and tears, even to get to the point where we're offering you now these opportunities under our College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. Cybersecurity, I think, is by far right now is one of the top interest programs. If you look over year, there's going to be a program out there that just gets the most attention. And with everything and everybody being at home right now, obviously cybersecurity is an issue. So even with Zoom, unfortunately, someone can figure out how to hack in and just mess up our entire evening here. But we want you to walk out of Grand Canyon University, if you decide to go there, not just with the ability to do all of the things that Tyler and Casey talked about, but also with the internal discipline to be able to always do the right thing. So yes, we have to have ethical hackers. We have to have people that can be able to access things and not do the wrong thing with all of that knowledge and information. So when we think about these types of programs, what we want you to be able to do is have enough information to compare Grand Canyon University to whatever other school that you're looking at. Again, you should be looking at other schools in order to figure out which is going to be the best fit for you. And just one thing I wanted to clarify on the aspect of coding, Casey, unless something has changed, I know that we as a university had decided to really teach some of the earlier type coding so that they're able to be more viable within the workforce, even though they could be working on the latest code that popped out 10 minutes ago. Is that the case?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good way to put it. Kind of my outlook and my information as far as what we focus on and what we teach when it comes to coding. Really, we try to give you as much hands-on and real-world application as possible into what the industry is using. We do have quite a few company partnerships where they try to inform us and keep us up to date on what is being used in the organizations, what is being relevant, what is necessary nowadays within coding technology. For example, a couple of years ago, Python really became big. If you've heard of Python before, that really wasn't a big coding language about 10 years ago. Like no one was really using that one. However, nowadays it seems like everyone's using Python for pretty much all of their aspects and everything that they do, really. So Python has then now since been included in our academic programs because obviously we want to make sure we're teaching you things that you need to know for when you graduate and that you're prepared for when you graduate to get into and be successful in a career doing that. So that's kind of my little 2 cents there and my insight. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit, James.
Yes, perfectly. Thank you so much, Casey. So for the sake of, we got 4 minutes now, okay? Run of the gun, Corey cracked the whip. Tyler is going to provide us a little bit of some differentiators. Just going to summarize that real quick. And again, don't receive this as information. You can always get more. Tyler.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And because Casey brought up a great point when it came to how we partner with the industry, because at the end of the day, we could be a university where we developed our curriculum and then we've taught the same way for years and years. But we haven't asked anyone that's running a company, hey, what do you actually need? And so one big thing about both Casey's department with computer science, cybersecurity, IT, but as well as my department with engineering, of that we are meeting with industry partners regularly. Actually, this week, we had a industry advisory board meeting where every quarter, every 3 months, we sit down with our industry partners and go over our curriculum, the labs that we offer, the projects our students work on, a number of different things, and really just sit it all on the table and ask, is all this worth it? Is this really what you're looking for in engineer coming out of college? Is this really what you're needing for your company? Is this what the industry as a whole really looking for? And that's really helpful for us so that we're giving them relevant content and relevant information. And a huge part of that is actually the vast amount of input that our industry partners have given us really stems from the core value of hands-on training, of that they are looking for students graduating from engineering programs that can actually build something, that can actually take what they've learned, taking calculus, physics, differential equations, transport phenomena, thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, all of these theories and equations, and then show that this is how I leverage all of these as tools. Because like Corey and all of us have talked about at Mesa, is that at the end of the day, engineers identify and solve problems. And taking those real world problems, it takes real world tools to do that. And so all of that being said, that's one major area that we really focus on in engineering and within all of our programs is we want to give our students as many real world projects. And so that's why most of our courses are project based. Most of those projects are team-based, but most of our courses within our engineering department, we don't separate the time between the lecture and the lab. So the lecture at university is like let's say a Monday, Wednesday, Friday course where you're learning all the theory of, let's say, material science. And then let's say on like a Thursday afternoon, you have the material science lab where you take all of this theory and then apply it into this lab. But at GCU, most of our courses, we don't have that separation. It's a Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday time where you're combining both of those together. Because again, your equations are only as important as how you can actually be applying those as tools. And so I would say that's a number one thing we really focus on in our engineering programs. And so if that's something that you're currently enjoying in Mesa, it's something that we're continually doing within our engineering programs. James, do you have anything to add to that?
That was perfect. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you too, Casey.
So what I want you to do, we have an activity in our STEM interactive room. So I'm about ready to put everybody in the rooms. But before I do that, just so you know, we have got some materials that will be helpful for you in this interactive STEM activity. So if you have some tape, a pair of scissors, a paper clip, a rubber band, and a straw with maybe an index card or a piece of paper, awesome. I sent an email earlier. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. No big deal if you did not. Those are great household items. So meet them in the room. When I hit go, I'm going to open all the rooms and we're going to send y'all over to the interactive STEM room so that you can meet the women from Society of Women Engineers, and they will be with you. And then we'll, after that, transition over to our STEM live activity. So thank you. I see everybody's ready to go here and can't wait. So looking forward to it. I'm going to open the rooms now. Marnie, anything that before I open rooms that you need to tell anybody?
Just so for all the students attending, you'll know the women from Society of Women Engineers because they say GCU SWE at the beginning of their name.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. I forget what I'm doing here, everyone. So I'm glad I have somebody else with me. Opening the rooms now, and then college knowledge people, you can certainly go over there. And if you want to head over there too, that will always be open. I have just opened rooms. If you're an advisor, I haven't assigned you yet. I have got you in the main room. If you happen to be assigned to a room and you are an advisor, please let me know. So I'll go ahead and so if you have any questions, please let me know, or where you need to be assigned to. You should be popping on over to your rooms.
California J, where do you want to go? You want to go to the interactive STEM? Yes, okay.
plug yourself into that definition. So for me, my purpose is the reason for which I was created or why I exist. So I want you guys to think about your purpose in that light. It's why you were created, why you exist. So when we think about this purpose, I like to tell this story of this young man here in the center of the screen. You may or may not recognize him, but I'll tell you a story. So this is Joseph Allen, and he was a GCU student not too long ago. And he'll tell you, when he came to GCU, he was feeling depressed. He was just not happy with himself and his life. And his reason for that was, you know what, because he did not know his purpose. He didn't know his reason for existing or what he was meant to be doing at college or with his life in general. And that's a sad place to be in, and it's lonely and isolating. So I can understand why he was, so sad about it. And one day Joseph saw that GCU was having a Java Jam. So that's an event we have where we set up a big stage out in one of our courtyards outside. And he saw that and was like, you know what? I definitely am passionate about music. I've never shared my music with anyone before. I don't know how people are going to feel about it. I don't know if anybody here likes hip hop, because that's the kind of music he was into. And he thought, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to perform and just see what happens. He didn't think he had anything to lose at that point. So he went up and he performed one of his hip hop songs. And you know what? He got a huge following. Students loved his music. And so what he ended up doing was going to our GCU recording studio and recording an entire album on our campus. So he had a decent following. He had lots of fans at GCU, and people loved his music, and they felt he had a lot of talent. And so he decided to go and try out for America's Got Talent. And so he was on the season in 2018 in the springtime when he was a senior in college. And when he went on and performed one of his original songs, he actually got the golden buzzer. And little did he know, a huge group of GCU students had come and surprised him in the crowd. And so it erupted in so much cheering. And it's an amazing episode. You should watch it if you have the time. But the reason I bring up this story is because it just shows that even when you get to college, a lot of students have no idea what their purpose is. They don't know what they want to do. And you know what? Even Corey and Marnie were mentioning before, I still don't know what I want in life. And you know what? That is an okay place to be in. Okay? You're never going to completely know what your future holds. You're never going to completely know your purpose. And you're going to find it in bits and pieces as you go throughout life. Okay? So you can see this picture here as well. Do what you love what you do. So I just like to think of that in terms of a career. You want to be choosing a purposeful career, something you're passionate about, so that each day is not dragging on and you're not just going to work just to make money, but you're passionate about what you are doing. So with purpose, I want you guys to think of that as a vision for your life. Okay, so your purpose can help you envision what you want for your future. Okay, so that is your purpose. It'll be your vision. And you know what? Like I said, you don't have to know your purpose right this second. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do an activity here. So remember, I said purpose is vision. So what vision do you have for your life? And we are going to now write out our mission. Okay, so the difference between a vision and a mission. So your purpose is your vision. Your mission is how you will fulfill your purpose and your vision. Okay, so you have your purpose, which is your vision for your life. Your mission will be how you will fulfill it. So we're going to do a fun activity to help you guys kind of brainstorm what that might look like for you. And like I said before, we don't all know it completely, but this might help you get some of an idea of ways that you can help further your vision and possibly obtain it. So you're not going to completely know it, but this might be helping you. So for our Find Your Purpose activity, there's going to be 3 steps. So our first step is going to be brainstorming. Our second step is going to be sorting it all out. And then step 3 will be writing your mission statement. So your mission statement will be how you want to fulfill your purpose. And we are going to have Menti up. And so you guys will be kind of submitting your answers throughout the activity through Menti, and just know that they are all anonymous, so it's not like people are going to know who's posting what. But I do encourage you guys also to either write down your answers, on your notes in your phone, or you can get a piece of paper and a pen and write it down just so that you are remembering it. So we do want to see it up here on Menti. I want to see what kind of things you guys are coming up with, but I also want to make sure you're keeping it for your own self, because this is important work that's really going to help you for your future. So let's start out with our brainstorming session. And what we're going to do is we have a lot of different questions that I'm going to have you guys answer. So the first one is going to be identifying things you care about. And you'll see these 2 bullets here. These are just some ideas of things that you might be able to write about, but whatever comes to your mind when you identify things you care about. So whatever comes to your mind, something that you are passionate about, something you really care about. So maybe it would be something that you would start a charity someday to support something. Okay, so these are some ideas of what you could write about. So I want you guys to go ahead and put your answers here. Identify things you care about personally. So you're gonna go ahead and write it in Mentimeter, and then make sure you're keeping track of your answers on the side as well. So write it down in your notes on your phone, or you can write it on a piece of paper. So go ahead and put it into Mentimeter first so we can start seeing those answers come up. And then afterwards, make sure you transfer your answer somewhere else so you remember it. Awesome. Somebody says family and friends. That's one of mine too, actually. Family and friends. Learning and helping others. Love to learn. That's awesome. Somebody loves to learn. I love learning too, actually. I'd say that's something I care about. Teamwork. My family, awesome, another family one. Music, friends, and family. I love music as well. There's something special about music. It brings people together, and it helps you find your emotions and your feelings, and you're able to kind of put them into words. That's something really special about music that I love as well. Awesome. Lots of family and friends, and I totally agree. Helping others, that's a very good one. Awesome. And as we kind of go throughout this, start thinking of ways that maybe you would like to help others. Think about, ways you can exhibit teamwork. So for that person that put teamwork, this one says helping others as well. So ways that you enjoy helping others. Somebody's passionate about their Mesa students. Love that. That's a good sign. Awesome. You guys are getting some really good answers here. Whatever you care about. For me, I definitely care about my family and friends. I care about my dogs a lot. I care definitely about helping others. I care about listening to other people and hearing about their problems. What else do I care about? I care about the world and the climate. I care about taking care of myself and making sure I'm healthy. Awesome. I'll wait a couple more seconds and see if anybody else has any other answers here. Ooh, that's a good one. Just having positive and fun and love. Same with the world, family and friends. Awesome. Good stuff. Positivity and fun and love. That's a good one. That one just puts a smile on your face. Awesome. Good times, but also working hard. Yes, that is a good vision to have. Yes. Wanting to always make sure you're having good times, also working hard. Good stuff, guys. All right, we're going to move on to our second question, but you can still write them down on the side for your own notes. Okay, so the first one's identifying things you care about. And then our second one is going to reflect on what matters most to you. So you can put whatever matters most to you, but this is kind of a prompt to help you think through this. So if you had to move to a new place tomorrow, what would you take with you? So it can be people or things. Okay. So reflect on what matters most to you. What would you bring with you if you had to move tomorrow? What is one thing? So make sure you put it into Mentimeter again and then write it on the side for yourself. Awesome. Family and pet, or family pets. Okay. Family pets. I think that would probably be something I would take with me too. My dogs. Makeup. I also love makeup. Nice. Memories. That's cool. I wonder how you would take memories with you. That's awesome. Family and dogs. A positive attitude. That makes a difference, doesn't it? That makes a big difference. Your attitude can make or break the situation you're in. So if you're moving to a new place tomorrow and you have a positive attitude, can make all the difference in the world. Money. Money can help you maybe establish yourself in your new place. Okay. My shoes, love that. You probably have a good shoe collection then, huh? My musical instrument, my family, my dog, my computer, my dog, and cash. That's smart. Musical instrument to make sure you're, have something fun to do. Love it. A photo album. That could go along with the memories answer. Photo album to remember everything from your last place you were at. That's awesome. Cool. And again, make sure you're writing your answer down somewhere else so you remember it. Hair products. Nice. Gotta look good in your new place, right? Love it. Alrighty. We're gonna go to our next one. So remember, you can animate, family, friends, love it. So remember, you can keep answering this and writing it down on your own spot. So our next question is recognize your strengths and talents. And you know what? All of you guys have at least one. Okay. So maybe this is a good prompt here. What do you spend most of your free time doing? That might help you think about your talents and your strengths. Okay. So name something you're good at, something that you spend a lot of time doing, that you practice a lot, and make sure you write it down on your own notes as well. For me, my strengths and talents, I'd say, is listening to people. I like writing. Ooh, solving computer problems, hair and makeup skills. That's awesome. You're probably the one that wanted to bring the hair products with you. Love it. Solving problems. That's a good skill to have, a very good skill to have. Watching YouTube and playing an instrument badly. That's awesome. Love it. I feel the same. I do love playing various instruments, but in the same way, I wasn't too great at it, but that's okay because I loved doing it and it brought me joy. And watching YouTube. I love watching YouTube as well. I think that's a skill to be able to focus that long and watch YouTube for a long period of time. Totally a skill. I'm good at math and watching anime for an entire night and playing games. Hey, video games takes skill. That's all I'm saying. And you know what? All that anime you watch, maybe you're getting good at learning how to storytell. So you're watching all of those different stories. Talking, hey, that's a good skill too. Roblox and YouTube, awesome. Listening to podcasts, cool. Hey, listening is a good skill. I said that was one of my skills. Listening is a very good skill to have. It's important for a lot of different purposes. Awesome, guys. And again, make sure you're keeping track of your answers on the side. Good stuff, guys. Wait a couple seconds if there's any other ones. Whatever you spend most of your time doing. Alrighty, we're gonna move on to the next question. So write this question down if you didn't get to it yet and make sure you put your answer down for it. All right, our next one is imagining your best possible self. So the best version of you. So a good prompt to help you think through it is, what is a contribution you have made towards your community? So this could be a contribution in your family. It could be in your friend group, at school, in video games. Maybe there's something you really contributed in one of your video games. Okay, so think about something you have contributed or something that is the best version of you. Let's see what you guys think. For my best possible self, something I've contributed. I'd say I contribute to the livelihood of my dogs. I make sure I get up every morning and feed them and keep them alive. What else have I done? I have sometimes volunteered in the community. So I volunteered at a food drive a couple weeks ago. Awesome. This person says, helping my friends and classmates with schoolwork that they're struggling with. That's a great way to contribute. You take care of your mom. I'm sure she really, really appreciates that. Help others with tech problems. That's also a good one. Taking care of your parents. Awesome. Your parents are lucky to have you guys. Selfless service. Awesome. I listen to my friends when they're down. That's so important. You sound like a good friend. You watch your little brother. That's awesome. That's a very good way to help out. I did service hours with the visitors of my middle school, and then I cook for my family. Cooking is an awesome skill to have. Good for you for already learning that. That's awesome. And service hours, it's always important. Good stuff, guys. Make sure you're keeping track of your answers as well. These are awesome, guys. I love seeing the beautiful side of all of you guys. That's awesome. Wait a couple seconds and see if anybody else has a last answer to give before we move on. Ooh, I have a job and help out. That's great. Being a big help to my Mesa team. Perfect. That's a great one, guys. Love it. All righty. So again, keep track of your answers while we move on. Okay. Our next brainstorm is look to the people you admire. So the prompts that I like with this one is think of 3 different people you look up to or admire, and think of the one thing that they have in common that makes you admire them so much. What is something they have in common? Okay. So what is something, a character trait about the people you admire that really makes you look up to them? For me, one of the biggest things I admire in the people I look up to is their self-confidence. They're able to be confident no matter the situation and believe in themselves and believe in their abilities. This is a good one. Stay calm when things are bad. Yeah, being calm that's a good thing to look up to. Keeping your cool. Positive attitude. Yep. That'll help you a lot in life, a positive attitude. Awesome. Those both make very good, admirable traits for people. Love it, you guys. Being the first to do something in history. Ooh, you made me curious. I wonder what that is. That's awesome, though. Working hard. Very good. And hopefully while you're thinking of these things, you're thinking, this is something that maybe I want to embody. This is a character trait I want to embody one day. Staying calm and making smart decisions. Yep. And I'm sure that's really important for Mesa as well, huh? Trying to stay calm when things are not going correctly and making smart decisions for what you're going to do next, how you're going to help solve it. Very good. Very, very good. Reliability. That's a very good one. Being able to rely on somebody is important, especially for somebody you look up to. Again, be thinking about these things in terms of maybe this is something I want to be one day. You admire somebody for having these character traits, and in turn, that should push something in you to maybe want to become that way. Good listener. That's great. Confident and smart. I'm sure these people would be so flattered to hear these things you are saying about them. And chances are those people have no idea how much you admire them. So it's awesome that you guys think this way about them and you see the good in them. Oh, your mom, she's confident in herself and independent. Rihanna, she is, oh, disappeared. She is an amazing businesswoman and is independent. You want to be a businesswoman and independent. That's beautiful. I love that answer. That's awesome, guys. All right, I'll wait 1 or 2 more seconds here and see if there's any last answers. Awesome, guys. I love it. All righty. Cool. So now that we have finished our brainstorming session, we are going to move to step 2, which is sorting it all out. So what I like to name this is a life priority list. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at all the answers that you wrote down for all those questions and kind of see what themes you might be able to gather from those. So think about what really sticks out to you and your answers for them. And you're going to put it in a life priority list. So pick 3 to 5 things for your list. And it's going to be things, you know, that matter most to you, things that embody who you would like to become one day. Okay, so write out your life priority list, 3 to 5 things. So for example, my life priority list would be 1, I love helping people talk through hard things. I like talking through my hard things with other people. And then my other thing on my list would be my friends and family. So you guys think through, if you're looking through all those answers you wrote, what would be on your life priority list? What matters most to you? What embodies who you want to become? What is on your life priority list? And remember to write these down on the side after you submit it to Mentimeter. Others in need, beautiful, family and friends. That's awesome, guys. Passion, siblings, dad, mom, family. Awesome. It can even be actions. Problem solver, yep, just like that. Listener, being calm, yep, those are good actions. Beautiful, guys, you're totally getting it. These are awesome, awesome, awesome words for your lists. Calming down, getting stronger, others, calm, positivity, helping people get better, getting better at being calm, being more reliable, siblings, lots of family, financial health, awesome, always helping people, being self-confident, I like that one, doing what I love. Let's see if I'm missing any. Cash, health, just being happy in life, better time management. Awesome. I think encouraging others. I don't think I had read that one yet. Awesome, guys. This is great. I love it. Hobbies. Problem solving, emotional intelligence, living life with a meaning, becoming more independent. Let's see. I think I read all of them. Awesome. Okay, so again, make sure you're keeping track of what you put on your life priority list, okay? All right, so now that we have our life priority list, I want you to read through it and I want you to use those items. And you're gonna use those things to craft statements that will describe what you will do with your life now or things that you plan on doing in the future with your life, okay? So here's some helpful questions for you to aid when you're thinking through this. So 1 could be, what do I want to do? Who do I want to help? What result do I want to have? What values do I want to create? Okay, so here's my example mission statements with my life priority list. I will be available to my friends and family to talk through hard things. In my second one, I will write and speak about my passions so others can help themselves. Okay, so there are my example mission statements. So I used family and friends, that was on my life priority list. Talking through hard things, that was on my life priority list. Writing and speaking were, and then helping others help themselves, that was on my life priority list. Okay, so you're gonna craft together a couple mission statements, 1 to 3, and you're gonna write down what you plan on doing now with your life, or maybe what you'll do in your future with yourself. Awesome, go to college. Look at that, there's already one. That's beautiful. That's a good mission statement. Short and sweet, and it's direct, and it's measurable. You have a measurable goal there if you're gonna go to college. That's awesome. Be a business owner and do other stuff for other people. Beautiful. That's awesome. Very good, guys. You're totally getting it. I want to stay calm while helping others. Beautiful, guys. You're doing great. Being more self-confident, going to college, and being able to earn enough money in the future to afford to have a musical hobby. That one is awesome. I plan to get a nursing degree to help people in need. Know what you can control. Control it and don't sweat the rest. Awesome. Photography. Staying an A student. That's good. Completing my homework now so I can get into college. Awesome, guys. These are perfect. You guys are doing so great. I can see what things you guys had on your life priority list through these. That's awesome. Being a top student and continue to be reliable with my classmates or help people that need help and get better at my schedule with my free time and schoolwork. Those are awesome. Be well educated, go to cosmetology school, practice dance, go to college, be a businesswoman. You guys are awesome. Look at these goals. Study a career that lets me help others. That's beautiful. That's very selfless. Good job, guys. You're totally getting it. I'm so proud of you. This is a hard task. A lot of adults don't know how to sort out their passions. A lot of adults don't know how to write mission statements for themselves. So the fact that you guys are able to do this shows a lot about you and your strength and your character. So I'm very proud of you. Let's see, I might have missed one. Let's see, did I miss one? I want to make sure I read all of them. This one here, be a great student. Awesome, good job, guys. You did amazing. So when I think about mission statements, and if you guys think about mission statements in terms of your future career, I want you to think about picking a career that can help reflect these mission statements, okay? Choosing something that will help you become what you want to reflect in life. So all these mission statements show what you want to be, okay? So remember, a mission statement, it shows how you will fulfill your purpose. Your purpose is your vision. So your mission will be how you get to your vision. And so these are incredible ways, you guys. These are the how-to of getting your vision. And I want you to think about that in terms of your career. How are you going to have a career that reflects your purpose or your vision in life, what you are passionate for? So these are all statements to fulfill your purpose in life. And like I said at the beginning, you don't completely know your purpose now, but you're going to find bits and pieces of your purpose throughout life and in each career that you have. So your purpose, like I said, your vision. You're going to find it throughout different pieces in life, and your mission statements will help you get there. Okay, so they'll be fulfilled through your career, through your hobbies, your relationships, so many different areas. You're going to find fulfillment of your purpose and your passions. They're going to be ways to help, for you to help other people and help solve the world's problems. And you guys exhibited that perfectly in your mission statements. All of those so described ways that you are going to help other people around you and use your passions to help solve the world's problems and help better society and your communities. And you know what? They can even be used in STEM and Mesa and in the projects you create. You can use your passions and you can use your vision through your mission statements to aid you in those projects you're creating. So one person said how they're going to practice their calming, and that is important for your projects you're making, right? When something goes wrong, you're going to practice and learn how to stay calm and make the best decision to keep pushing it forward. Okay, so these are all ways that you can use your purpose and your mission statements. So that is all I have for you guys. And I'm so proud of you guys. You did amazing. And this is things that, like I said, a lot of adults don't even know how to do. So it's amazing that you guys have that skill and you can use that for the betterment of your life in the future.
Bethany, wow. I got a lot out of that, and I am not quite as young as some of the students on this call. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to take us through a reflective exercise. You know, sometimes teachers jump into class and they start off like, okay, here's our math lesson or here's our science lesson. And we don't always get that time to think about what we really want that's bigger than what we're doing in the everyday moment. So I have to say thank you so much. Guys, let's give Bethany a round of applause in our Zoom reactions, or you can unmute your video and just give her a big happy round of applause. Thank you so much for being with us. And again, you can get more Bethany at the College Knowledge playlist in our YouTube channel. She's got 10 tips for getting into college, what you need to think about before you get there. Bethany, anything else on that YouTube channel that you like? What's a teaser for that YouTube channel? What have you got on there that our students would like to see?
Yeah, I talk about 10 tips of being successful in high school. And so lots of different ways to tie in everything you guys just did in this exercise. So ways that you can use your passion and your purpose to make sure you are successful. So I go through more activities kind of like this and different topics that will make sure that you're the best version of yourself possible.
Yeah, so good morning, everyone. As you've heard or maybe seen, my name is Trevor Baines. I am a junior at Grand Canyon University right now, majoring in information technology and cybersecurity. I am currently employed as an IT security analyst who specializes in incident response, as well as doing some white hat hacking jobs on the side. And I am the sitting vice president of the GCU IXT Club. Now, that may sound like a lot of stuff. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it is. But even though I'm succeeding in tech now, it wasn't always like that. See, I was born with both dyslexia and amblyopia. Both are different disabilities that affect my eyes. You guys have probably heard of dyslexia before. It's the learning disability that affects my ability to read because my brain makes different letters flip-flop around the page and makes it pretty difficult to read. But amblyopia, on the other hand, is something you probably haven't heard of. Honestly, if you had heard of it, I'd be pretty impressed because I had no clue what it was before I got diagnosed with it. Amblyopia is a condition that means the connection between my eyes and my brain is slightly off. So whenever I focus on things for a short period of time, my vision gets super blurry. It's sort of like that feeling if you watch TV for too long, or maybe you're reading a book for a long time and your eyes start to get fuzzy because they're tired. It's like that for me, but after a minute and a half of looking at something. So, as you can imagine, these two eye problems stacked on top of each other did not make picking up skills like coding or hacking very easy for me. But despite all the setbacks that life threw at me, I was able to come out the other side. So if you'll stick with me for these next few minutes, I'll tell you all about how I got my start in tech and how, just like I did, any of you can overcome the obstacles that life throws at you. So, my journey through STEM started about 7 years ago when I was a freshman in high school. When I was that age, I was super into gaming. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still into gaming now. But back then, every day when I got off from school, I'd jump on Black Ops 2 with my friends. And if I wasn't playing Black Ops 2, I'd be watching different YouTubers play video games that I didn't own myself. So naturally, when I was thinking about what I wanted to be when I graduated, I wanted to be a game designer. So for the rest of the year, I told my parents over and over again that I really wanted to start looking into game design. And when summer came around, I was blessed enough to go to Stanford University for a summer course to learn the basics of game design. When I was at Stanford, I was able to get my start learning Java. And we learned Java to make different Minecraft mods, and we'd see how changing certain lines of code would affect different things in the game. After the camp was over, I was super in love with back-end technology. And I knew that whatever I did for a career, I wanted it to be with that. But when I was learning Java at Stanford, I ran into a pretty big problem. At Stanford, we were presented with like a big textbook, and the textbook had all the lectures and lessons in it that we went over when we were in class. But because of my eye conditions, and my eyes don't always like to cooperate with me, whenever I got a few pages into the textbook, things got super blurry and I wasn't able to read it very well. So this was the first time that I had to take my learning into my own hands. And I found ways to circumvent having to read the textbook. I found that on the internet, there's a whole world of videos and forum posts that contained information on the different coding concepts that were going on in my classes. And because of that, I was able to listen to and watch these videos and get all the information I needed since I couldn't get it from my textbook. Now, this may seem like a trivial discovery, just start looking at videos since my eyes don't work for reading, but it's the mindset of accepting my problem and then finding a way around it that kept me going through life. And the same mindset that I applied back then helped me get to where I am today. So, okay, I've told you all that I started out on my path to become a game designer, but currently I'm a cybersecurity professional. And that switch came for me in my junior year in high school. It was career fair night at my sister's school, and I decided to tag along since I had nothing better to do that night. And when I was there with her, I saw a flyer for a summer training camp for computer hacking. Now, this was really shocking to me because at the time, hacking was obviously pretty cool to me, but I, one, had no idea how to actually hack into any systems. It's just something I saw that was cool on TV. And two, I had no clue that there was actually a career that allowed you to hack and help people at the same time. So, much like my freshman year, I headed off to summer camp, and there I absolutely fell in love with cybersecurity and hacking. The ability to hack into machines, the knowledge of how computers, servers, and networks work, all of it is and was super interesting to me. And I knew, even more than game design, that this specific career path is the one that I wanted to take. From that point on, all the way up until when I graduated my senior year, I was working hard to get as much experience on my own with cybersecurity as I could. Once I graduated from high school, I applied and was then accepted to GCU. And that following fall, I started to attend GCU as an IT cybersecurity student. But here is where I hit another big roadblock. Now, this might come as a surprise to all of you because I know I just exude the energy of an all-A student, but that's not really the case. Because of the issues I have with my eyes, classwork, which you guys know is mostly reading and papers and tests, has never really been my strong suit. It's always been pretty difficult for me. Even throughout high school, it was difficult for me. And so my grades were never really all that good. The issue here is that for tech programs, it's pretty important to be able to get an internship at some point in time at your time in college. The people who are looking to accept students on as interns often make the selections based on GPA, since a student in college can't really be expected to have much industry experience as of yet. So the roadblock that was in front of me was that I needed to get an internship so I could get a leg up in the industry, but my dyslexia and amblyopia made it pretty difficult for me to get good grades. It was here that I decided to apply the same lesson I learned earlier in life, Instead of giving up and just letting my eye problems get the better of me, I decided if my eyes won't let me get the grades that I need to get an internship, I'll pour all of my efforts into getting experience so I can show my potential employers I know my stuff, even if my grades don't reflect it. That very night, I decided to go and attend a GCU IXT Club meeting that a classmate of mine had recommended I check out. And by the end of the night, I had volunteered myself to become the club's newest committee lead for their Girls Who Code chapter. From there, I went on to meet Corey, and I began to help her in volunteering as much of my time as I could to get experience with STEM programs, as well as helping out other people while I did it. I attended every extracurricular hacking event that the GCU Cyber Warfare Range would put on, and in my free time, I would search out different resources and study and practice my craft, building up different experience points that I could put on my resume. Then, at the end of last school year, I was blessed with the opportunity to interview for a real full-time industry position as an IT security analyst. And as the intro to this speech may have given away, I was able to get that position. And along with it, I was voted to become the vice president of the GCU IXT Club. I've continued to follow this path of gaining more experience, and because of it, I've even started to be contracted to do freelance ethical hacking jobs as well. So, you guys may be sitting there behind your computer screens or your phone screens thinking, wow, that's pretty cool. This guy was able to work hard and achieve his goals, but what does that have to do with me? In the field of STEM, and even more broadly throughout life, we're all going to be presented with challenges and trials that we're helpless to stop from afflicting us. Some of you may be experiencing these now in school, and some of you may be experiencing them as you work on your Mesa projects. But even though these challenges and trials may seem insurmountable, let me tell you, every single one of you is more than able to overcome them. Before I finish, let me leave you with 3 pieces of advice as you go on to complete your Mesa challenges and then take on the world of tech afterwards. 1, when you're faced with a problem or challenge that seems like it's too much for you, don't run away from it and don't hide from it. Look the problem head on, get a good grasp of how it's affecting you precisely. And once you understand the problem, don't waste any more time than you need to dwelling on it. As soon as you can, start thinking of ways to get around the problem. I found that every second I spend worrying about my issues are a second I could be spending beating them. 2, try and learn as much as you can from every situation life throws at you. This goes for your Mesa projects, this goes for your schoolwork, this even goes for stuff you just do for fun. We as tech professionals are constantly being forced to change and adapt to the situations that life throws at us and that our jobs put us in. The best way to adapt to these situations is to take the experience you have from the past and apply it to help you circumvent the problems you're facing in the present. In your Mesa challenges, you may find success or even victory. And if you do, make sure you understand why it is that whatever you did worked. And if you try something and it turns out that it failed, learn from the experience. Apply it going forward so that the same problem doesn't happen again to you. And lastly, this applies to your Mesa event, but moreover, it's a tip for you as you go throughout your high school and college lives. Always make sure you're taking enough time to rest and do some fun things. You heard me talking earlier about how important it is to work long and hard hours, how doing so can help you achieve your goals. And that's all correct. However, while it's important to maintain a good, healthy work schedule, it's equally important to maintain a good, healthy mental health state. Take some time off every once in a while to go play video games or watch anime or go out with your friends. It's true that success is hard fought and even harder won. But what's the point of reaching your goals if you're a wreck when you finally get to them? So remember that your mental health state and your happiness is just as important, if not more important, than whatever goals you set up for yourself to reach. Now, I know that was a lot of words, that was a lot of talking I just threw at you guys, and I hope I didn't bore you too much through this speech. I want to thank you guys for listening to my story and to my advice. And just remember that no matter how big or how tough the challenges are that come your way, you guys can overcome them. And I know that if I was able to get over them, you guys can do it too. Thank you.
Okay, this is the part where I want the microphone's on so we can clap. Oh my goodness. It took me a while to get that video camera back on, Marnie, because I was kind of drying my eyes.
I'm not crying. You're crying. I'm not crying.
There were just some really great words of wisdom that you just imparted for all of us. So thank you so much, Trevor. With that said, let's go ahead and have each panel member introduce themselves kind of. Now, you all know about Mesa. So if you could say a little something to someone particularly from where you're sitting, what might you say to a Mesa student who's going into competition season here? Their first competition will be in February. And they've got 5 competitions in Arizona, 5 in California as well. And I believe New Mexico is the same way. So yeah, great point, Marnie. Since nobody had a burning question, Corey Cathray, do you want to give it a start us off from Raytheon?
Yeah, so what I would say to the students would be, honestly, it's not going to go how you expect it to, as no engineering competition can. So be ready to punt on the fly. I can see Trevor's nodding because he knows exactly how it can go. I don't think any engineering design competition goes exactly how we expected. I've been in 2 of them, and honestly, with how COVID hit it, we didn't know what was going to happen the entire time, but we kind of got through it. It was really fun, but you just don't know what's going to happen in this virtual world. I think we can prepare a little bit better. Our communication's getting better, but honestly, just be ready for anything, because a certain part of your project could break on the fly, and you still got to explain how it works. You still have to be able to convey how it's supposed to work to the audience.
So Corey, I have a question. So you're saying it could break on the fly. So if my contraption breaks, that doesn't mean I'm automatically out?
It never means you're out. You can just punt to a different way of using your contraption. I think probably the best engineers, even if something does break, they find a way to fix it. There's always that really funny picture of either duct tape or WD-40. It's going to fix it or it's going to stop it from moving. So I think they should be fine either way. As long as they're ready to improvise. I think MacGyver and like Mythbusters really put that into me when I was growing up.
MacGyver and Mythbusters. So there's absolutely a reason, as Trevor said, to have fun, because that's fun watching MacGyver and Mythbusters. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Corey. And you're in industry now. What's the big difference between graduation and industry? Like now you're an adult now, as they say. You have to. You're making money for the things that you're accountable for. So is there any advice you can give to students to get ready, high school students? What does industry want? How did you get that job, let's say?
So when I first came to Raytheon, it was a little bit weird because we were in the midst of all the COVID lockdowns. So I did get to go into work. I did have an ambassador. He's 25 years older than me. So there was an age gap, but there wasn't a difference in our work ethic. So it turned into, he wanted me to ask questions and I was already asking questions. I was just a sponge trying to soak up every ounce of knowledge he had gained, because part of my group is not all engineers with bachelor's degrees or master's degrees. It's actually a makeup of principal engineers, which are people who have so much experience they are considered to be an engineer, as well as there's actually a business major on our team. I'm a product development engineer. She's a business major. There are people that are not purely STEM majors in my position. So we're trying to soak up as much info as we can, but also convey what we don't know. So one thing I was really afraid of is saying I don't know, but I had to realize from my time in my internships, it's fine to say I don't know as long as you can figure it out in the long term. I think that's one thing they've appreciated is I soak up as much information as I can. If I don't know, I'm going to research it and then I will ask. So a lot of it is you can't ask the question immediately. You should do some background research, because they don't want to fill in all the information. These are people that we're charging time throughout the day. So you can want to provide as much info as you can when you're going about an issue. I think I've learned more in 6 months, which it's November now, which is very weird to me to say. In 6 months than I think in a lot of college. I do a lot of work with printed circuit boards, and it's a world of difference from what I learned in college. It's very weird seeing where I am now as opposed to then.
So you heard that first here, guys. He does a lot of work with printed circuit boards. And last night we did a full activity on circuits. Now it was all an online activity, Corey, but I have a feeling you're doing a lot of your work online right now too, yeah?
I am working from home probably 60 to 70% of the time. Certain things I do have to go into the office for because we cannot do certain reviews for certain programs in our homes because some stuff is classified. So I do work with classified material, but we just have to be careful what we're working on. It's not hard for me to go on a site. I live 30 minutes from the office. It's really easy.
And just in case that people don't know what Raytheon is, could you explain what y'all do there?
So it is a huge company. I will say that right now there's tens of thousands of people that work here. So we have like 4 different business units. There's Raytheon Intelligence and Space, Raytheon Missiles and Defense, Collins Aerospace, and then Pratt and Whitney. So these are all just different business units. Some people are in commercial aerospace, some people in radar. I'm in Raytheon Missiles and Defense. We work primarily on missile systems. So I get to do all the fun stuff. And my job especially is I'm coming from the inception of a design. Oh, my screen won't let my hands be. I'm coming from the inception of a design to the grave of it. So I get to see the entire design cycle. I get to go into manufacturing floors. I get to go to suppliers. That is something that's very different from other engineers because we don't get assigned to any particular program. I am on probably 10 or 15 programs a week, just making sure that the designs are flowing properly.
Wow. So it sounds like fun. So, like you said, you get to work on all the fun stuff from inception to the culmination of the project. So thank you so much, Corey, for explaining that. And there's your industry person. So if you have questions for Corey, please pop them into the chat. Let's move on over to our biomedical engineers. We have Maddie and Alyssa to talk to us a little bit about biomedical engineering. Alyssa, you want to start off? What do you do as a biomedical engineer, and what kind of job are you looking for when you get out so quickly here in the next few months?
So just starting off here, I am a senior, so I am in the position where I'm starting to try to think about where to go into industry now. Biomedical engineers do a lot, really responsible for any and all machinery in and around a hospital, any medical equipment. Prosthetics is where I'd like to be. Development of implants is another great spot. And I know I've learned a lot in just the last year or so, specifically from our professors that have been in industry, because they have a very different perspective. They don't just want you to know the material. They want you to they want you to figure out what you're doing as you go. And I've had a great time and experience in that. So, but going into industry, I'm looking for probably going into prosthetics at some point.
And Maddie, what are you? You're also biomedical, so prosthetics. Is the same idea with you, Maddie?
No, so I am also a senior, but rather than going straight into industry, I'm deciding to go into more school. I want to do 5 more years and get my PhD, and then after that, I will be going into industry. But my area that I'm interested in is looking more at how can we design materials to help cells grow on them, right? So I'm more interested in the tissue engineering side of it. So that basically is when you grow a working organ, hopefully from, just one little stem cell. And then you can grow a functioning organ, and that can then be implanted into a body, and hopefully it won't be rejected from the body. So that's a very new field, and there's a lot of great opportunities for research and just finding, that innovation right there. So
that is fascinating, Maddie, especially in a world of coronavirus. You are looking at research that is so important, and I know this is Marnie's area of expertise as well. So very, very exciting. I saw the smiles come right out. And I have, as many of you know, my daughter is a type 1 diabetic. So if there's any possible way of you looking at tissue from a pancreas and being able to cure her pancreas so she doesn't have to deal with that, how cool is that? And that, folks, is what innovation is all about. That's what Mesa is all about, is innovating. So thank you from somebody who's really interested in that research, Maddie, for doing that. And Alyssa and Maddie, is there any advice that you guys want to give to a Mesa student coming on to competition?
I would say probably never be afraid to get it wrong, because getting it wrong is where you figure out, like getting it wrong is where we figure out the most about something, because you can be a senior, you can be in industry as Corey is, and you never stop learning stuff and you'll never actually stop messing up. I figured that out. And that's actually the best experience is when you mess something up.
I love it. So don't be afraid to mess up. That's so great. That's what Mesa is all about. Fail early, fail often is what we like to say around here. So thank you, Alyssa and Maddie. And now I'm going to turn it over to Jessica Padilla. Jessica, I know that you're a mechanical engineer, and that's a little different than biomedical and electrical and cybersecurity. So you have a little bit of a different perspective. Tell us a little bit about your challenges as a mechanical engineer, or maybe some advice that you might give a Mesa student heading into competition, or maybe some challenges that you've overcome as well in your area of expertise.
Thank you, Corey. So my name is Jessica Padilla. I am a 4th year student at GCU, and I'm actually not a senior. I have 1 more year. I decided to add a minor in e-business application development. So computer programming, it's an emphasis in Java. So I'm doing extra classes for that. So I do have an extra year. But mechanical engineering, it's basically just the design, the analyzing and manufacturing of a lot of different mechanical devices, airplanes, cars, and it can go down to like smaller components and whatnot. I'm more focused on thermodynamics and like the study of heat and whatnot. So my goal is to work for NASA. So I'm working towards that. And with my minor in computer programming, I just recently picked that up because I do want to have experience in that, because the more different skills you learn as an engineer and as any professional, I guess, adds more to your worth and whatnot. And so I think having that minor and also just working towards that before I do go into working for NASA or like trying to achieve my goal, I think will help me a lot. So right out of college, I want to do more computer programming and more software engineering, and then I will transition my way into thermodynamics. So that's kind of my path as a mechanical engineer. My advice that I have for students going into Mesa Day, kind of like what Alyssa said, I didn't know that I wanted to do engineering. If I'm being completely honest, my first year at GCU, everyone was like, oh, you're doing engineering, you must like math. And I was like, why would you say that? Like, it's just science. Well, engineering is very math heavy, and I found that out the hard way. But I'm all good now. I'm even so good at math. And I feel like I had a lot of moments where I was like, engineering's not for me. And in different group projects or different events that I would go to with clubs, and I just felt like I didn't belong there just because I didn't really come from an engineering background. And so the advice that I have for Mesa kids, if you go into this competition and maybe the result isn't what you guys are expecting and you're kind of disappointed in yourself, I think you guys should not be disappointed. I mean, you should turn that into motivation and turn that into a drive inside of you to be even better and really to prove yourself that you can do it, because you guys are all here and you guys all chose to be here. And I think that says a lot, and it already shows that you are passionate about this. And so if you guys keep working towards it and just prove yourself right, you don't really owe anyone else it. And I think it's something that you guys should do for yourselves. And so basically my advice is go into this weekend. If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win, because you got all the experience and you have so much power and you can learn so much from it. So that's what I have.
Thank you so much, Jessica. And you said you realized engineering was math heavy, and you said you got good at math. How did you get good at math?
Hard way.
Yeah. How did you do it? I bet everybody wants to know that.
So actually in high school, when I was a senior, I had the option to take math, and I was like, I don't want to take math. But I knew I wanted to do physics in college. When I decided on GCU to be my school, GCU does not have a physics major, and so mechanical engineering, I was told, was the next closest thing. So I just took it, ran with it, didn't really know what it was. I just knew that it kind of went with physics. And so we going into GCU, you have to take placement test, and I took a placement test, and I did not place into the math classes that were required for the engineering students. And so I was like, oh shoot. And so I was starting off at the base college algebra class while all my other or all my other classmates were already in like pre-calc and calculus 1 and everything. And so that was kind of what I meant. And so like I had to take summer classes. I had to really self-teach myself and really go out and want to learn this stuff, because anyone can pass a class. It's whether you take the information from it. And knowing that it was very math heavy, I didn't want to just pass this class. I wanted to actually learn this material, and I wanted it to stay in my brain. And so I don't know, I just like pushed myself, and I guess I didn't make it harder on myself, because if you're in college, you want this education and you're not just doing it to pass classes. And so I really made sure I learned that freshman class. You know, I had to catch up on a few classes because I was a couple classes behind in math. And so I had to do that, take summer classes, and work to where I am now. And now I'm done with all my math classes, and I'm really excited. And so it's all worth it. And I worked really hard, and I'm really proud. So
that's awesome. It's almost like, Jessica, when you work that hard, it's even that much better at the end of the rope, right? At the end of the trail. And you're not at the end of the trail. I mean, it's always there's always learning, but you got what you needed to get to the next step. So thank you. Yeah. That's so inspirational.
I just wanted, and that what you said about it kind of made it worth it at the end. And I think that's kind of also the look that I'm looking on for the Mesa kids. Just if you get to the end and it's not the result you want, don't be upset. Just know that like how far you guys came, and it kind of made it worth it. If you guys did put all that work into it and you did work hard for it, it's totally worth it. And it just pays off in the end. So yeah.
Thank you. And there you have it. From Jessica from her mouth to your ears. And also Bill put something in there. Math should not be the barrier to achieving your STEM goals. So super, super great. Thank you. I would love to see some questions from our students. Feel free, Brianna, Brody, Austin, Tram, please ask some questions of these individuals. That's why they're here, to answer your questions this morning. And even if you don't have a question, you just have a comment, like, that was cool. Feel free. Yeah, there you go. I like it, Janelle. Thank you. You're awesome. There you go. Y'all are, I think you're all awesome. I think that's what Janelle was saying. Y'all can unmute. You can unmute, or you can put your questions in the chat.
While we're waiting for them to make any comments, all of the students who just spoke, I am so moved by your stories. And I'm so happy to hear all of you mention the struggle. You know, so often we look up to these people who are doing the things we want to do, and we think of it like like an iceberg. We only see that top part, like where they're doing great things and all their success. We don't see all the bottom of the iceberg, all that struggle that it took to get there, all that failure. Some of you had some great sayings. I was trying to type them in the chat, that it's really about the struggle, and that's where you're going to learn. And I really liked what you said, Trevor, too, where you mentioned it was the first time you had to take your learning into your own hands. You know, I think so often in school, like, education happens to us, especially as we're younger. We're just like there, and it's just like it's happening to us. And at some point, each one of you, you know, you come to that point where you're like, oh, wait, I don't want it to just happen to me. I want it to make it happen. And that happens at a different point in everybody's life. Mm-hmm. And the earlier, you know, you can kind of realize that, I think the better. And we all have challenges. You know, Trevor, thank you for sharing those really personal challenges. Like, that's hard to make public, and some of you did too. So thank you.
Absolutely.
That's really awesome. I mean, I'm hearing this and I'm getting a little emotional myself, because that's the reality of what Mesa brings to, you know, students, is the reality. You know, I remember too often hearing or talking to college recruiters, and it all seemed like, wow, that's all I have to do. That's all I have to do. That's all I have to do. And then when you start doing it, you're like, well, wait a minute, you know, this is hard. High school was rather easy for me, and I'm sure it's easy for some of you as well. College is not high school. It's not. So what I wish I had was this when I was in high school. Someone to tell me that there was a struggle. Someone to tell me that there's going to be times where you're going to question everything. That's just life. You know, it's hard if you do it. It's hard if you choose not to do it. Choose your hard. Either way, choose your hard. You know, I don't want you to take 20 years to get 6 to 8 years of education. I chose my hard. And guess what? By God's grace, I'm doing okay. But you can do better. You know, and I have, like I said, two children, two daughters who are in college right now. And you know, fortunately, you know, when I grew up, my parents, no formal education whatsoever. I watched my mom get her 8th grade diploma when I was in the 1st grade. I was sitting there learning the Constitution test right alongside with her. So, dad, no education, formal education whatsoever. He worked with his hands, but they knew you got to go to college. I didn't have a choice. Okay. What I wasn't prepared for was the transition from, oh, you made it out of high school. Well, now you're here in college. It was a different era, a different time. There was this thing called affirmative action. You guys probably read about it in the history books. It didn't work. Okay. So the fact is, when we say the future is in your hands, you know, I heard that too, you know, when I was coming up, but it's so much the truth right now. And the transition that this country, let alone this world, is going through right now, man, we need y'all badly. We need y'all to correct some of the things that we messed up on. One of them is how we educate people, you know, so it's a personal experience. It's rewarding, but I saw something yesterday. Choose your hard carefully, you know. So I encourage all of you to continue doing what you're doing. You know, continue attaching yourself to Mesa. Mesa is, you know, a 50-year-old program, but really it's still just getting started when you think about it. You know, to be national, and then perhaps, I don't know, maybe down the line they'll be international. Who knows? Sky's the limit. But so encouraged. I'm sorry I missed some of the stories. We were in the other room there, so I'm looking forward to the recording on that. So I want to hear what some of this GCU current students had to say. But I just had to chime in on that. I'm sorry, I'm stealing everybody's thunder. My bad.
No, thank you. Thank you so much, James. Your story is just as important because you're on the other side. So, I mean, we've got students who are in high school, we have students who are in college. You know, everybody's working hard. We have an industry person who just got out of college and now is working hard in industry. And we've got you on the other side, industry. You know, you have children, you're doing this, you're living that dream, but we've all had challenges as a part of it. We have a lot of questions in the chat now, so I'm going to start asking. I know, Alyssa, you had a first question, and I know that you answered in the chat, but feel free to unmute and follow up with the question from Annabella. When did you really start to get more into Mesa and STEM? I think that you answered it, but do you want to add anything to that?
I'll add a little bit. So Mesa, I didn't even know about Mesa until I got to college and started working with Corey as our advisor for SWE. That's really when I learned about Mesa. I come from the Central Valley of California, so I didn't really know about Mesa in high school. But as far as STEM was not on my radar growing up at all. Engineering even less so on my radar growing up. I was sort of interested at one point in becoming a doctor and becoming a chiropractor because my dad was a chiropractor. But so I kind of was hovering around the medical field a little bit for a while. And then in like my freshman, sophomore year of high school, I was thinking of going more into like graphic design, which is a very, very, very different kind of feel from what I'm currently in. But it was really a high school science fair project that got me kind of interested in STEM in general. One of my high school teachers, my chem teacher, I'm still very close with her. She was one of my personal mentors. And she really taught me like, hey, you could do this. You could totally do this. You know, you would be great at this. And she totally encouraged me to go into STEM and to see which thing was like my passion, what I love to do. And I really kind of discovered that biomedical engineering was the thing I wanted to do. And I really wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that high school teacher. So it's been great. It's been hard, but it's totally worth it because I'm getting to where I want to be.
And I saw in your chat too, if you knew about Mesa, you would be the first to jump into it if you could.
Absolutely. And again, I think it's really an important thing too, because like I said, engineering was not on my radar really at all in high school until about my going into my senior year of high school. Wasn't really something I thought I was going to do. And because of, if I had sooner, I would have prepared more, if that makes sense. If I had been thinking of engineering sooner, I would have been, I think, in a better spot to go into college for it, because I really, again, like I said, it wasn't on my radar at all.
Great. Thank you, Alyssa. We have some, Bill, we're going to get to your question in a second, but I want to answer Janelle's question. Trevor, will you unmute? And Janelle, just so you know, I think you were in College Knowledge when you missed Trevor's story, which was awesome. So yes, I will get you the recording. Brought tears to my eyes, but Trevor's had some challenges that he's overcome, but he's a cybersecurity major. So Janelle, feel free to unmute, ask your question, or Trevor, did you get it from the chat?
Yeah, I think I got it from the chat. Just wondering a bit more about like what I do and stuff like that. So I'm a junior at GCU right now, but I work part-time during the school year and then full-time over the summer as it's called an IT security analyst. So basically my position is whenever there are different hacks that come in over the network, or maybe an employee downloads something that they shouldn't, my team is the one that goes in and looks at those reports and then figures out if it is a hack, we contain the machine, remove the virus, stuff like that. And if it's not, then we just pass it along. And we're the ones that like sort of monitor the network to make sure everything is staying smoothly, running smoothly like it should. And then on the side, I do like it's like GCU calls ethical hacking, like industry is like white hat hacking, but it's like people contract me to hack into different devices that they need to get information off of. So like an attorney office will come to me and they have a client who's deceased and they need to get information off of his computer. And so they'll ask me to hack into it so they can get the information so they can proceed with their case. So that's what I do for like my work and stuff like that.
Thank you, Trevor. Any other questions, Janelle? You can, or did we lose her? You might have lost her.
What was Bill's question?
Oh, yeah, there we go. Sorry, did you have any other questions? Did that answer the, okay, fantastic. Oh, white hat hacking. Can you tell us what white hat hacking is, Trevor?
Oh, yeah. So like the GCU calls it ethical hacking, but it's like in like industry, there are two terms, either black hat hacking or white hat hacking. Black hat is like the stuff you see like on TV or like movies where it's like the bad guy hacking in and like stealing all the money from the bank or whatever. And white hat hacking are people who are like penetration testers or like stuff that I do, like more freelance work, where it's you're hacking for your job, but you're doing it for a good cause. So you have like little white hat, like little halo over your head while you're doing the hacking.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know that you mentioned that in your speech too, and we had some questions about that. So Bill had asked earlier, and I'm going to direct this question towards Corey or Trevor or both. But how does Mesa prepare? How does Mesa in high school prepare you for STEM career in college and or in industry? So I'll let either one of you talk specifically to Mesa. Like both of you have worked with Mesa. You've actually judged Mesa projects. So Corey, do you want to give that a go?
Yeah, I can give it a go. I will say two things. I'm going to go about the process first, because I think that's the most important part of any engineering competition. It teaches them the engineering design process. That is the most important thing that I think is lost in most of our science classes. Is it seems more like work when we're going through an experiment. They're like, you have to have this format, this type of writing. It's not, this is how you create an experiment. It turns into, how are you going to make this really fun and awesome to actually design? And more importantly, how is it going to be easy to make? Is what part of my job is making sure something is easy to make so it doesn't cost more money. And also our technicians aren't mad at us when they have to rework it. So there's like two sides there. If you design something correctly and you understand the engineering design process, it gets so much easier when you're actually getting to testing it. You're getting to actually have fun with your project. Then it comes down to, they see the end of their project and they realize it wasn't exactly the end of the project that they were looking forward to. The journey was probably the most fun part. So I think that's probably two things about like just the design process of the Mesa projects is my favorite. I had the pleasure of judging, I believe it was It was I'm trying to remember what it was.
The disaster relief shelter?
It was not disaster relief. It was where they could create their own.
It was on site.
It was on-site design, wasn't it?
On-site design, I think it was. But they just had a moment where they didn't understand what was going to happen. They just had to go at it. And just the diversity of what they all brought was really cool to me. So just understanding they weren't trying to copy anybody. And they understood they could build whatever they wanted to still fulfill the same challenge. I think that was probably a really great thing about your projects, as well as they can all be so different at the very end, but still fulfill the same purpose. And I think that's something beautiful about it, because these kids have such great imaginations and we don't want to pigeonhole them into something. I think pigeonholing someone is the worst thing you could ever do.
What does that mean, pigeonholing?
So I think everyone has seen like that cartoon of they're judging a fish's ability to climb a tree. I think some people have seen it likely. It's basically you're telling someone they should do this because they're going to be graded like everybody else, so they should be able to do the same thing. When in fact, we all bring diverse topics, we all bring diverse experiences. So you're going to have a different kind of experience, both going about the same thing, but also you don't have to do the same thing as others to get a similar result. I think that's probably the weirdest thing about math is I got marked down for not doing it the teacher's way, but I still got the right answer. And it never made sense to me. I was like, it was just my way of doing it.
Thank you. Words of wisdom there. Trevor, do you have anything to add?
Yes, and I while Corey had the mic, there's another question in there, like we're asking where you're from, Corey, by the way.
I thought I got it in the chat. So I am from Livermore, California. It's in the Bay Area, about 45 minutes east of San Francisco. That's why I picked the Bay Bridge as my virtual background, since I've taken a picture from this exact spot. It's Battery Spencer on the other side of the Bay Bridge.
Awesome. Put any other questions in the chat, but definitely, Trevor, if you have anything to add about Mesa and what you think Mesa would like helps you in college.
I'd say
Mesa projects in particular. I know you were on the Hack Attack, so
I was on the Hack Attack, and so I saw like a sort of a different side of Mesa than the engineering stuff necessarily, but it echoes what Corey said earlier, and like I think it was the first question he answered, but Mesa really teaches you to just be a sponge and just absorb as much as you can. And I think that's really like a skill that probably all of us panelists up here have really gotten good at. And that really helps you in college, because no matter what field you're in tech, stuff's always going to be changing around you. If you're in your job, something's not going to go as planned. And so your ability to just absorb as much information as you can and then adapt with the information you have is probably the most useful skill I'd say that Mesa gives you, that helps you out in college and even in industry and stuff as you go on. So, yeah.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Adaptation. And speaking from someone who's in cybersecurity and technology, there's just never a moment of non-changing, right? It's always changing. So if you're not flexible, like if you hate change, technology might not be your field. I don't know. Engineering in general, right, guys? Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. What other questions? Have I missed anything in the chat, operations team?
No other questions I've seen in the chat. So if anyone has any final questions, let's make sure we get those out there. And panelists, do you have any other final things you're just dying to say that you didn't have a chance to say?
I think I want to pick up on what James was saying about choosing your hard. Like he said, like no matter what you choose, and mostly when you're talking about college, it's going to be hard. And so making sure you really have a passion for what you're picking is really important. Thankfully, I haven't had to change my major because I know that this is what I want to do. And I was blessed to know that before a year into college. And so I think it's really important for you guys to really find what you guys are really passionate about, whether it's STEM, whether it's anything, but because it is hard. And whether anything you do, it's going to be hard. But as long as, and I think someone else had mentioned this before, as long as you have a passion for it and you love it, it doesn't feel like work. It's hard. It's hard work. You have to dedicate yourself to it, but it'll be worth it. And it's hard, but it's worth it when you love it. So that's all I wanted to say. And I really liked what James said. So.
Wow. Well, fantastic. I think that's a great way to end, unless anyone has a question. Awesome. Janelle, thank you so much for your participation. Safe travels to you. She says thanks to all the speakers that spoke or that talked this every day or just this week. So thank you very much, speakers. I know you're taking time out of your college morning, Saturday morning, to hang out with us, and we totally appreciate that because just so y'all know that college is fun. So, you know, nobody's asking them to be here. Their parents aren't like pointing down, you know, they're doing this out of the kindness of their hearts. Even Corey, who's over there in, you know, industry land. So really appreciate your time this morning. So thank you to Maddie, who she turned her camera off because she's actually in the lab right now. She said there's lots of loud students in the lab. And she says, yeah, if anybody's a question, I'll chat. But thank you, Maddie, for being here. Alyssa, Jessica, Corey, and Trevor, what a great keynote closing speech today. A huge round of applause for all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I tell you what, guys, I know all of these students personally, and if any of you have questions for them, if you ever want to talk to them again personally, just shoot me an email. I will get you in touch with any of these students because I know they would be happy to talk to you. I see them nodding their heads, and you know, because they've been there, they've been in the hard. And if you ever need somebody to reach out to that's been there before, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll put you in direct contact. So with that said, Marnie, what do you think? Should we give out some prizes?
We should spin some wheels, get a few more names on there.
I think that's a great idea. And that's go ahead.
And also, while Corey's going to get the spinning wheel of prize up, we haven't named it. I don't know if that's the right name. Our ops, Sydney, will get a link in the chat for an evaluation. It's really, really, really important that you give us some feedback on your experience over these couple days, what worked, what didn't work for us, but we value what your experience was. So please make sure you fill that out. You could be doing that on the side while Corey's spinning the wheel. Corey, there's a full screen button over on the right there if you want to, it'll make it better.
Screen it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Sorry about that. I was trying to find my chat here because Marnie, would you like to put in that awesome tip and trick? We've been giving you a tip and trick each day. Bill gave us a tip and trick last night, designing for equity. So you have that document that really shares with you what we're looking for, especially in the National Engineering Design Competition. So that was a Mesa competition that some people said, hey, how do I want to know more about that competition. So we gave you that last night, and I'll pop that in the chat again. But Marnie showed me Attacraft this morning. So that was really cool. Do you want to share that with them in the chat?
Yep, I've got it in there already.
Awesome. So that there are some fun things to do in that site. So definitely give that a shot. And further, I think, let's see, what else do we have to talk about before I spin this wheel for prizes? Anything?
I
think we're probably
going to mention January.
Oh, let's mention Jan for sure. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm also I'll find that link while I'm spinning here before you leave. January 19th, it's a Tuesday afternoon from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. We want you to save the date. We will have a Mesa consulting day. What that basically means is that students like the ones that spoke today, maybe even the ones that spoke today, if we get lucky. Look, I thanks Trevor, he's already nodding his head. I like this. Will help you with your Mesa designs. So this is a pre-design day, consulting day. So it's a couple hours, it'll be virtual, and you get to come on and basically ask any questions you want of students in college that have been there, that have designed. They'll ask you those questions about the engineering design protocol. And maybe even we could get Corey back from Raytheon to give you some industry advice. So that would be really cool. Yes, and you know what, Bill, if you have a minute and you would like to unmute, I would love for you to maybe even explain a little bit more about the document that I gave him last night, but really just talk a little bit about Mesa before we spin the wheel. Go right ahead, Bill. Oh, Spider-Man, sorry, Spider-Man.
Oh, Deadpool, it's Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool, anyway. Sorry.
So on behalf of Arizona
Get it
Mesa,
right, Corey. Get it right. Sorry, Miss Corey.
Yeah. So really, on behalf of Arizona Mesa, I really want to thank everyone who has come. I know we've had people from primarily Arizona, but also California and New Mexico. And really, we're trying to build Mesa across the country and create that space of collegiality. And everybody on here, it has a lot of talent. And we know that your talents and your strengths manifest themselves in a lot of different ways. And so we really want to make sure that we are giving you the best advice and the best, paths forward, so that when you finish up in middle school, high school, wherever you are, you do have the confidence to go on to college. Because we know that talent is equally distributed across race and gender, but opportunity is not. And we want to make sure that we're giving you this opportunity. So GCU has really done a great job. So thank you to Corey and Marnie and the whole team. It's really great to see Mesa alum from California and James giving back to the community. And Mesa USA really appreciates that. And I know for us here at the Mesa office in Arizona, we're really glad to see all these people come together to help support our students, because you guys are all awesome. And we really appreciate everything that you're doing. And we really hope that we inspire you to pursue STEM. And if you pursue engineering, great. If you pursue something else, that's great too, because you all have your talents and you are all great at what you're going to do. And you deserve to be able to go to college and do whatever it is that you want to do. And we really appreciate everything that you do. And we really look forward to seeing you at our events in February, April. And then if you're doing the national event, hopefully you win and we'll see you in June. So really, thank you everyone for coming. You guys are all doing great things. And if you ever need anything, if you're in the central region, reach out to Corey and Marnie. If you're in the southern region, you can reach out to myself or my partner, Manny. You can go to our website and get any information that you need about our competitions. We send out all sorts of things to your advisors as well. And for those of you in other states, please feel free to reach out to us as well too, because we are a Mesa family across the country. And we really thank you everyone for coming today.
Thank you so much, Bill. We appreciate you so much and what you guys do down at the Central Mesa Hub in Southern Arizona. So thank you so much, Bill. Appreciate that. And Bill, Mesa Week, feel free, if you have those dates set, put them in the chat. I definitely have popped in. I popped in the registration for your January 19th practice day. So consulting day, that's just going to be with engineers, college students that will look at projects and say, yay, nay, here's what you might want to work on before you compete in February. Central Region Mesa is in February. So let me go ahead and share my screen again, share that wheel so that we have the wheel. Tell me if, well, no, that didn't work as well as I wanted it to. Hang on 1 second. Let me try this again. All right, now it is time to spin the wheel. For some reason, multitasking is not working for me. So give me a second. There we go. There's my wheel. Are we ready? Is there anything else any announcements? Don't forget to fill out the evaluation. James, Team Jackson, anything from you guys?
No, just thank you so much for your participation and for helping us, launch our first event of many, 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 many more to come. So thank you so much for all your engagement and participation. Again, reach out. I'll pop my email address in the chat as well. If you have any questions or you need to figure out who your actual counselor is at GCU, I'll be glad to help you with that. Otherwise, as always, Mesa forever, lopes up for now.
Lopes up, Mesa forever. I love it. Thank you so much, James. And let's get to this party. All right, we're gonna start the wheel again. Last night, Star was our winner. I left it on her name. Here we go. Let's start winning some more prizes. And almost it's Marbella. Marbella, are you here? Must be present to win. Must be present to win, right, Marnie?
Yes, we have a lot of names on that wheel, but not that many people here, so this might be a lot of spinning.
All right, I'm gonna remove Marbella so she's not there anymore. Here we go. Spinner number 2. And we have, oh, Tanner's been here. Tanner, are you still here? If you're here, pop your name in the chat and somebody tell me if it's in the chat.
He's here.
All right, Tanner, woo! Give him a round of applause. A Zoom round of applause too. Please feel free to do that. So Tanner, somebody's recording my names for me, right? All right, Tanner, you're gonna get some swag. Don't forget to fill out the forms so we know your address to send you some swag. Tram, that's twice. All right, Tram, are you still here? I know that Tram was here.
Yeah, Tram's still here.
All right, okay. Well, here we go. We're gonna just keep spinning until we get everybody a prize if we can. That'd be kind of.
Oh, we don't have that much time. Look how big that wheel is.
All right.
Isaac.
Oh,
I know.
Isaac kept coming in and out. So Isaac, you're a lucky man for keep coming back in. So I don't know if that's technology, but definitely that's right. Yeah.
That was Isaac's concern.
You won, Isaac. I'm so glad you were here. Winners all around. Here we go. Marnie, tell me how many I get to spin for today.
You get 2 more.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. Mesa advisor Bill Pike, you've been working for your money today and it's paid off. You are getting some swag. I love it. That's right. It's always fun to win. Doesn't matter how old you are or if you're an advisor or a student. You just want to win, right? I do. I like winning. Is it Sherilyn or Lorette? Is Lorette here?
I don't think so.
I think she's here. So, oh, Sherilyn, that was so close, and you were so close to it. Yes, ma'am.
We also want to say, I know we've got some advisors here that some of them we might be sending them to the school.
Manuela here, Manuela? I don't think so. All right. Go ahead, Marnie.
I was just going to say some of these we might wind up sending to the school. So I know that many of the schools are virtual. So your advisors will have to check in at school, or advisors you just need to be checking at school.
Mr. Montoya, speaking of advisors at a school, you've been with us all 3 days and you too will have a prize. Way to go. Please tell me someone's writing these names down, Marnie.
I've got them.
Oh, sweet. All right. So tell me how many I get to do. How many more? I've got 10 minutes left.
You went like 5 over my limit. So it's up to you now.
One more spin.
Okay.
One more.
All right, James, you and me, here we go. Is my name in here? Come on, Marnie. How come Here we go. Is it going to be Claudia? Claudia, are you here? I don't know if she's here or not. If you don't put your in, oh, no, I don't think she's here.
No.
I just want to know why the speakers aren't on this.
Why the speakers? Oh, good point. Why are you guys not on here? Oh, next
Just
time.
kidding.
Maybe James will give you guys some GCU swag. All right, one more.
You got us on Monday anyway.
Very good. Here we go. One more. Let's see if somebody's got to be present to win. Oh, Samai, are you here today, Samai? I know you were here with us last night. You know what? I know that Samai, some of these, well, we'll give it one more go, you guys. I get so excited. I get so excited to spin the wheel. Spinning the wheel. I didn't. Taylene, are you here, Taylene?
No.
He's been here a lot. All right. We'll just keep spinning until we find our last winner. Does that sound like fun? Alyssa's like, yeah, put me in. Jessica, Trevor. Yeah, I'll do it. Is it Star? I gets it again. Wait a minute. She must have been registered. She must have been in the token hunt.
Yeah. No, she was registered twice. I saw that. This was for registration.
All righty. Okay. By the way, Marty, shall I be spinning for tokens?
No. Tokens are already
in here, right?
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that.
All right.
And again, don't worry because we're going to send some things to your advisors as well. So everybody will be a winner.
And by the way, advisors, we are also going to send you professional development certificates for the 3 days that you were here. So that's always exciting too.
Yeah, actually, advisors, make sure you do fill out that evaluation because it'll make it really easy for us to send you the evaluation, the certificates.
I saw Sherilyn earlier.
Yeah, she's here.
Sherilyn, you're here. Woohoo! All right.
Okay.
Give us a little Rah, rah. All right, you guys, this was lots of fun. Sorry we can't be in person, but someday we'll be in person again. A huge round of applause to all of our speakers, to Bill Pike at Arizona Mesa, to James Jackson, the California Mesa alum. Without James, this wouldn't have been a possibility. So James, your team, a huge round of applause to Team Jackson. Thank you so much for all that you've done for us to make this happen. Guys, I couldn't do this without Marnie. She's amazing. You have no idea the behind the scenes work she does. Thank you so much, Marnie. All of our student helpers, our operations team, Sydney, and just everybody, Team Jackson, and all of you teachers and students. Obviously, we couldn't do any of this without you. The fact that you showed up 3 days, nighttime, in the morning, it's a Saturday. We'll give you the 8 minutes or 7 minutes maybe that you have left here today to enjoy your Saturday. Next time, we'll see you January 19th. Don't forget to fill out the evaluation. Sydney's popped that into the chat. We really want to know what we did well, and we really want to know what you would like to see more of in the future. And we look at that evaluation and we change it and morph it for exactly what you want for next time. So this was our first go at this, and we are so excited that you are a part of our pilot. I think that is all I have for today. Don't forget the pre-competition Mesa Consulting Day. And I even popped in I popped that in up above if you want to register for that right now. And then of course our design day is February 27th. So students, GCU students who are on the call, don't forget to take those dates down. January 19th and February 27th, so you can come back and play with Mesa, because really Mesa is about play. I mean, it's hard, but it's fun hard. So, right, James? It's fun hard. All right, that'll do it from our house to yours. If there's anybody else who wants to say something, please do so now. If you have a question, if you want to hang out, great. Otherwise, we'll say goodbye for now.